What's going on, guys? Welcome to Outside the Brand. This is episode number 108. I am here with an amazing person known as Sooplex here on Tick-Tock. What's going on, my man? How are you?
You opened up with an amazing person. That just felt a shiver up my spine and so much love in my heart. Thank you so much for
No
saying that.
worries, no
But
worries,
I,
man.
but no, I'm doing fine. Thank you for having me on your podcast. I wish you would have told me it was on YouTube. I would have shared and made a big deal out of it. I'm like, oh, we're just going live on TikTok. Everybody's going to see it. But I'm like, oh wait, YouTube. There's like so much. There's I feel like there's less reach on YouTube when you're a smaller creator. So I'm like, God
Yeah,
dang it. I wish I would have known that earlier. But I'm happy to be on the platform and happy to be talking with you.
no
Outside the
worries,
brain.
man. No worries. I thought it was a very good time to do this. I mean, I found you recently. Not gonna lie, I found you recently through some mutual friends of the podcast and everything like that. But then once I started looking you up and going through your videos and everything like that, just seeing what you're all about. You're a big pro wrestling fan, and you know what? If you're a big pro wrestling fan, you're a good guy in my book. So, what got
Thank
you
you.
into start pro wrestling?
So it goes back to the year 2001. If for all of
Okay,
you who don't know, I was born in 1997. I'm 24 years old.
I'm
So
98, so
2000, you're 19. Oh, you're only 1 year younger. Okay, I got a
yeah.
year on you. So 97, 2001. I'm four. I should have really remember this, but I remember it like vaguely. I remember I was with my mom. We were going into my grandmother's house, and on the TV set playing is Vengeance Day 2001. It's like the very
Okay,
end of the year. And I remember seeing the image of Chris Jericho holding up two world titles. And I was like, wow, that is so cool. Now,
right.
I was four, so I didn't have any concept of what's going on. I just saw this guy holding two belts. Like, that's really cool. So, along the years, I kind of got little dabbles of wrestling here and there. I didn't really start getting invested in wrestling, I should say, until like 2005. Like
Okay,
2001 to 2004 is a blur. I don't think I watched wrestling from that portion. If anything, I think my mom just didn't allow me to watch wrestling from that portion of time. But 2005, when I was like 8, I want to say I started getting into wrestling. Around that time, John Cena was starting to pop off, and a lot of other guys. And I remember to this day, um, at the height of when I was actually starting to get into the product, John Cena was feuding with Edge for the WWE Championship,
right. Yep.
and
Okay.
Edge just recently beat John Cena for the WWE Championship.
New Year's
And
resolution, right, or New Year's
uh,
revolution, whatever that time
yeah, I
frame
believe
was.
it's. I think it was Resolution. I might be wrong though. I think it's either
Yeah,
I think Resolution is WWE and then Revolution was the ECW thing. One of the two.
yeah.
Anyway, so it was the night after Edge beat John Cena, and he was on live TV with Lita, and there was a bed in the middle of the ring,
Oh God, yes. The
and
the,
they were
the, the
doing
live
the
thing. Yep.
live sex celebration. And my mother found out about the live sex celebration, and I got banned for watching wrestling for a year.
Ah, damn, dude.
And because I was just a little boy, the fact of not being able to watch wrestling made me want to watch wrestling even more. So I
Right.
just
Yeah.
snuck wrestling around her as much as I can. Now, here's the thing: in the time in which I could not watch wrestling, I started investing heavily in wrestling video games, WWF SmackDown, Just Bring It. Any wrestling game I get my hand on, I played for that period of time. I snuck around to my dad's house. I watch it here and there. I watched it. Then 2006, I was finally able to watch it again. And then I remember I got the WWE magazine
Okay.
and I took it to school. I was in elementary school at the time. And I was so entranced by Tori Wilson in a bikini. I took it to school and I brought it into class and I'm showing everybody, like, yeah, look at this picture of Tori Wilson. Like, she looks so hot. Like that. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. I'm like fucking 9 years old. But
Yeah.
Tori Wilson looks fucking good. And I got the fucking one of the teachers confiscated it from me, and for the very first time I got sent to the principal's office, and I think I got sent home that day. Like my mom had to come, and I don't think I got suspended per se, but I know I got sent home that day. And they're like, listen, your kid can't bring this into school, it's not school appropriate, I don't know where you got that from, da da da. And then I got banned from watching wrestling again. So So then 2007 comes around, and I'm a little bit more better at not getting myself banned from watching wrestling, and that's really where the fandom took off. Ever since 2007, I've been watching wrestling every single week, almost every single day.
Awesome, man. Awesome. Now, before we get more in depth with this talk with Sooplex, I want to let you guys, you guys know we call this selling out here, and you guys will figure out, and Soup will figure out what we're doing here. It's kind of just a normal YouTube thing. Like, share, all that good stuff. Subscribe to the channel. Turn on the bell for all notifications. That way, you never miss when we go live. We do lives on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday. All that good stuff, and you guys will know when we are live if you turn on that bell. Also, if you missed anything on the channel from this past week, or if you missed our Monday Night Raw review from last night, go check that out. It's in the description. Well, all of that is linked down in the playlist for you guys to enjoy. We got Soup's TikTok link down there as well, so you guys can go follow him if you ever are so inclined. Also, if you want to listen to any of the tracks that our fellow OTB members Loft and Bash have created, you guys can go down to the link in the description below. There are 4 tracks waiting for you to listen. They work their asses off every single day just to get those tracks to you guys, and I might be hearing some rumblings about an actual album coming out very soon. So go check that out if you are ever so inclined. With that being said, let's get to continuing on with this talk. Now, man, you started early in your wrestling journey, 2004 onward. I was a little bit late. I was a little bit late to the
late
party.
Bloomer?
Yeah. So not born in '98. Wasn't really allowed to watch professional wrestling during the time of like the Ruthless Aggression or Attitude Era or any kind of thing like that, mainly because I was kind of just out of there. And this is going to be really bad. I started watching wrestling in 2010.
2010. That's not bad. That's 11 years. That's not bad at all.
Yeah, so I started.
I know people who started watching wrestling in 2015. Man, that's not bad at all.
Oh, really? Okay. So yeah, I started watching wrestling in 2010. As soon as pretty much the PG era kind of started, obviously John Cena, all that kind of good stuff was coming around, and gravitated towards a ton of people. John Cena is probably one of my favorites of all time, of course, but one of my favorite superstars of all time, and I kind of just came in as soon as he was leaving because Undertaker, Shawn Michaels, 25, 26. Shawn Michaels is my favorite superstar of all time. Just an amazing performer in the ring.
He's my
can do it all, and that's my guy. But another guy, and we're pretty much all a big fan of here, and I do kind of want to talk about that with you, Jeff Hardy. Jeff Hardy immediately gravitated towards me, not only just because of the face paint and everything, but just because of everything that he's done for this company with the TLC matches, with pretty much everything that he put on the line for all of our entertainment. Now, into the 2021, 11 years later, heck, watch it every single day just like you. And I honestly just can't get enough of it. So much I started this podcast. So you got where I go there. Favorite superstar of all time? Where are you at?
For me, I feel like if you would have asked me this question from 2006 to like late 2021, I would say Chris Jericho. Okay. But I feel like I've been going through this internal struggle the last year and a half between I love Chris Jericho, the wrestler, and the person.
Okay.
And Chris Jericho, the wrestler, is great, but the person is not aligning with my morals and is not aligning with a lot of the things I believe in. And I've been struggling with that internally for ever since the Black Lives Matter thing. Okay. So every time I see Chris Jericho now, I immediately go to all the stupid shit he says, and it's like that stuff that I do not agree with. And I'm like, no, he's been your all-time favorite for 20 years. You can't just say he's not your favorite anymore. But I feel like I've gotten to that point where, like, even now when I see Chris Jericho, I almost don't even care as much anymore. I'm like, you know what? I even hate to be that guy, but Chris Jericho's like, he went from number one. He had a nice long reign as number one, but he's number two now. CM Punk is now swapped with Chris Jericho from number two to number one as my all-time favorite.
All right, you know, I mean, that's not really that bad of a pick. And you know, one of our good OTB members, his name is MJ, favorite superstar of all time as well, is CM Punk. So you got a comment there. What's up, CJ? How are you, my man? Daniel, Mo, you guys are already in here, killing it. Thank you so much for joining us. You know CJ?
Do I know CJ? I've never seen CJ before. Who is CJ?
Well, I mean, he's been a very big supporter of the podcast. Been coming here pretty much since day one. So has Mo. Daniel is a little bit new, but I think he's been here for a little bit now.
Yeah, what's up, everybody in the chat? Thank y'all for coming through, guys. I appreciate you, and Phil appreciates you a lot.
Yeah. So reason why I asked if you knew CJ was because he said Sooplex. So I was like, oh, maybe you guys knew each other.
Oh no, I mean, he may be a follower of my stuff, but I've never seen him before. But I'm happy to have seen him for the first time.
So, speaking of TikTok, you've been started doing these you've been started doing wrestling content for a little bit now. When did you start doing TikTok, and how did you find the wrestling niche, as you would say?
Okay, so if you guys probably know this by now, but TikTok has been around for, I want to say, technically it's been around for like 9 years. It started off as Musical.ly, and back when I was young, I have a sister who's 7 years younger than me. Back when Musical.ly first started, I remember she had her iPad and she would always make dancing videos for Musical.ly. My sister, I call her the OG of TikTok because she basically is. But she used to always make these dance videos. I'm like, oh, that's so stupid. Then one day they rebranded as TikTok. And I want to say I was in high school when they rebranded as TikTok. And they were still, the dancing craze was on TikTok. And I'm like, I'm just going to, I don't care. That's not me. I don't like TikTok. I'm not doing the whole dancing thing. I'm too uncoordinated for that shit. So, can I curse on your channel? I'm sorry.
Huh?
Can I curse on your channel?
Or, yeah, you're fine.
No. Okay. I said a curse. I didn't know if I was allowed to or not. Good. Definitely do not want to intrude on the rules that I'm breaking or whatnot. But yeah, that's not for me, basically. So years goes on, and then 2018, 19, I want to say, is when TikTok started to like creep up in the social media realm. Right, for the longest time, it's YouTube, Twitch, if you're a streamer, but YouTube. Now TikTok's creeping up, and I'm like, that's not for me. You know what I mean? It's dancing, whatever. But 2020 rolls around, and now it's skits and everybody's doing these sounds. Everybody's doing these, like, I'm starting to hear more and more about TikTok. Instagram's in the background. They're the most popular social media thing right behind YouTube. But now I'm hearing about TikTok, and I'm like, I'm not feeding it a TikTok. I'm not doing TikTok, bro. That's not for me. It's a children's app, because the way my mindset is that I grew up, my baby sister used this app. All her friends use this app. It's a children's app. I'm not using it. Then, because I've been doing YouTube for over 10 years, and you know what I mean? In 2020, I was actually reaching a stride on YouTube. I was up an upward trend, and it was like summer of 2020. I was doing a lot of live streams, talking about New Japan, talking about AEW. My channel was on upward. And then right when it was on the upward, the parent company owner of New Japan Pro Wrestling, TV Asahi, copyright striked 15 of my videos and got my account deleted temporarily, because I got my account back, bitches. But they got my channel deleted. And I was very depressed for a long time. Didn't know what to do. I spent months fighting to get my channel back. And once I finally got my channel back, I kind of came to the conclusion that I can no longer have all my eggs in the YouTube basket. Like, because for the longest time, I used to put all my effort, time, blood, sweat, tears, and soul into YouTube. And after that experience where everything I did just got taken away, it's like, I feel like I can't keep doing that. Now, I don't want to say that I given up on YouTube or anything, but I can't keep putting all my eggs in the YouTube basket. Right. So I'm looking at other options. Okay, well, I'm already doing Twitch a little bit, but I have all my audience already on YouTube. Now 2021 is starting up, and I'm like, you know what? let's fucking go on TikTok. So I actually downloaded the app for the first time in January of 2021, and I'm scanning through the app. I'm like, huh, this isn't all dancing videos. And there's some lip syncers in here. That's not really my type of TikToks, but this isn't all dancing. Like, there's some funny shit on here. So then I don't remember exactly who it was, but I saw somebody did a pro wrestling TikTok, and I'm like, wait a minute, there's pro wrestling on TikTok? I didn't even know about it. Now, one of my subscribers, I got to give credit to him. He actually put the seed in my mind early on to break into the TikTok market with wrestling, because not too many people cover wrestling on TikTok.
Right.
And then, I thought about that here and there, but I didn't give it much thought. So I actually looked into it, and I'm like, wait a minute. People actually do like talking about wrestling on this app. I didn't see a lot of them, but there's an open market for it. And me,
Right,
I'm a content creator. I love creating content, but I also want to grow my brand. So if there is a opportunity to grow my brand and get a market out there, I'm going to do it. So I'm like, all right, here we go. I create my TikTok account, and I'm thinking like, what should I name my account? I'm thinking, okay, well, my name on YouTube at the time was Tyler Kuhn Williams. And I'm like, I don't want to do Tyler Kuhn Williams on TikTok as well. So I'm like, what wrestling name could I use that's relative, short, sweet? Most people know what it means. Anybody really can know what it means. And when you hear this word, you associate it immediately with me. Even though you're going to associate it with a wrestling move, you're going to associate it with me as well.
Okay.
And I think Sooplex. Okay, so I type in Suplex, it's taken.
Okay, yeah.
I'm like, okay, you know what? Whatever. So then I try what sounds like ooh, oh, 2 O's, Sooplex. It works. So I created an account, Sooplex, and I created my first TikTok. I believe it was after Revolution 2021, because I created my TikTok in February 18th. But I was just creating videos here and there, you know what I mean? I didn't really start taking TikTok seriously until like really the fall of this year, which was what, August, September. But around August, September, I had like 5,000, 6,000 followers. I grew followers here and there. I grew like 5,000 along the way. Then October came around, and I was hitting the stride. I'm like, all right, I'm creating videos, I'm doing this, doing that. And my brother, at the end of October, he passed away, sadly. And
I'm sorry about that.
Thank you. And he was a very funny guy, and for a while I was like, oh, I don't know what I'm gonna do, but I'm like, if he were here, he would tell me to keep going. So I kind of let that motivate me to go even harder, and I started posting 2-3 videos a day, and in the month of November I grew 7,000 followers. Like, I started November off with like, I want to say 7,000 or 8,000, and at the end I had 14,000, and now here I am, 15.6. So TikTok has been a wild ride, man. I would have never guessed that I would be ending out the year with almost 20,000 followers, but TikTok is crazy, man. I also have like a lot of community guideline strikes, which I'm trying not to get my account banned, but
yeah. And that in itself is just a struggle and a half. But dude, I have to applaud you. That is an amazing story.
Thank you.
You you persevered, my man, and that's exactly what is great about this TikTok community. Is that, yeah, sure, we're small. We are a very small community here on TikTok when it comes to pro wrestling. But I mean, if you meet the right people and if you have the right kind of friendships in this kind of niche, then we can all just help each other, and we're all just helping each other grow. So it's a great thing.
Yeah, it is. I've met a few TikTokers along the way. I can only say really, there's only like one TikToker that I'm actually cool with, who is like way bigger than me. But and my friend who does TikTok. But like, yeah, you're like the first TikToker I've ever done content with. So, you're up there. You're up there now.
Hey, that's awesome. That's awesome. But yeah, man. We actually have somebody backstage with us.
Okay.
I don't know if he's back yet, but I'm actually just gonna put him on the stream. His name is Bash. Guys, you know him very, very well. It's Bash About That on TikTok. And here he is. Hey, yo, Bash, are you here yet?
When I hear the name Bash, I think of the Basham Brothers. You remember the Basham Brothers? Oh wait, no, you started watching in 2010. You probably don't know who they are.
Well, no, I know who. I do my research. I do my research.
Okay.
What's up, Bash? How are you?
What's up?
What's going on, brother?
Hey.
I didn't even know this was going down. He says Sooplex is in the building. I says say less.
Oh wow, I have somebody who watches my content. This is actually
Bro,
crazy.
your content is like incredible. Like,
Oh wow,
you
thank
have
you.
valid points on pretty much almost every post where I just sit back and I'm like, yep. I'm like, okay.
Thank you, man. It's wild because like the concept of having 15,000 followers is like, oh yeah, it's just a number. But then when I see people were like, oh yeah, watch your content, I'm like, wait a minute, you watch my content? Like it's still surprising to me. But thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Oh,
And apparently, Loth is going to be joining us very soon as well when he gets home. If you, that's Loth Not Famous on TikTok. I don't know if you know him or not, but yeah, it's
Wait a minute, what is your TikTok again, Bash? I'm about to check your TikTok.
Batch about that.
What's about that?
BATCH?
BACH.
BACH. I'll have to search you up.
And then Loth Not Famous for the other guy. But yeah, this was a very that's awesome how you got your name and everything like that. Because I'm like, when I looked at you, I was like, Sooplex with double O. It's interesting.
Yes, 2 O's. You say my name. I love saying it.
I didn't really think that the U was taken, and that was the only reason why you did double O's.
Oh yeah, the only reason is because the U's were taken. I'm like, I'm gonna do 2 O's.
Well, that's awesome. But yeah, man. So I kind of want to let the elephant out of the bag already, but we might as well just do it. You went to Grand Slam.
I did go to Grand Slam.
Dynamite Grand Slam.
I sure did. I loved the show.
It was absolutely amazing. I was there too. Everybody, we got to do a review here on the channel once I got home. Like we had to do it the next day because I didn't get home until like maybe 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning.
Oh man, listen. Oh, yeah, so Bash, were you at Grand Slam too, or is this right to the corner here?
No, they have yet to hit my state. I live in Michigan, and I've been just waiting for AEW to.
You're like California.
Yeah,
there's 49 states in the United States at AEW. Michigan and California are not one of those states.
No, like.
Well, Connecticut was not going to be one for a very long time either, and then they finally made a booking. But yeah.
Like I was looking at Raw comes around soon, but that was like I was looking around and still like they had not announced. Yeah, I was like, no. I was like, when is AEW coming?
AEW's like Philly. All right, we'll do that. Queens. All right, yeah, we'll do that. Minneapolis. Okay. Detroit. Oh, not Detroit, man. No, we don't want none of Detroit.
No love. I might have to go a city over to Chicago when they come around. And
they'll go to Chirac before they go to Detroit.
Like.
They went to like Chicago twice before coming to Michigan. But yeah, man. Oh shit. He hit the wrong button. He'll be fine. He'll be back. But yeah, man. Grand Slam, great show. There he is. He's back again.
I adjust my brightness and just freaking.
He's back.
But yeah, man. Grand Slam, great show. From top to bottom, this card was great. Saw Bryan Danielson's first match since he left WWE after the Roman Reigns Universal Championship match.
Outstanding match.
Yeah, the 30-minute classic. I had to ask, what was your what were your thoughts on the entire card? I mean, we'll get into AEW in just a quick second, but the entire card, phenomenal.
Here's the real test to know if a show was great, because even though you've been to it, can you run down the entire card without looking at anything? So, top of my head, the opener was Kenny Omega versus Bryan Danielson. I know that much. Right after that, I want to say that was the CM Punk segment, which for the very beginning of when CM Punk started, it was just him doing a love fest. Like, oh, I'm so happy to be back in AEW. That was basically CM Punk for like the first 2 months of his AEW run. So it was that. Then I want to say that was MJF versus Brian Pillman Jr., which I went to the restroom for, and I went to the concession stands to get food. Which the concession stands were, I know you're giving me that face, but listen, you had to choose one match There was
You
a great
do.
card.
Yeah,
You have
you
to
do.
choose one match, and I'm like, listen, if there's one match I'm missing, it's probably gonna be MJF and Brian Pillman Jr. So I said, all right, bathroom break concession stand, and you were there. You know how fucking ridiculous those concession stand lines were.
Oh yeah,
Ridiculous. They were so long. I literally went to it. I said, there's no way I'm waiting in this line. I went up to the first 10 people and I said, listen, I will pay for your meal if you pretend that you know me. And one of the guys agreed to it. We got in there and we actually blinked up. And I believe I want to say I think it was either Cody's entrance or Malachi Black's entrance starts. And I'm like, listen, I can't miss this. So I walked off to go watch their entrance. And when I came back, the guy was gone. And I'm like, oh, fuck, he has my money now. So I asked somebody else. We did the same thing. I paid for his meal. I went back to my seat just in time to catch Malachi Black and Cody Rhodes to see Malachi Black beat Cody, which was awesome.
awesome.
After that, what was the match after that? We're hitting a blank here. What was after Malachi? Don't tell me. Malachi Black, Cody Rhodes. What came after? It was like a tag team match, I feel like. I don't remember it. I remember the main event was Ruby Soho and Britt Baker, which was a fine show. So, yeah, overall, I thought it was a great show. Like one of the best shows I've been to live. Not the best, but one of the best. I've been to, like, I think close to 40 wrestling shows. It was one of the best. Like, definitely top 10.
The match you're missing is Sting and Darby versus FTR.
How could I miss
it was
Sting
a
and
tag
Darby?
team.
Okay, yeah, Sting and Darby.
It was a tag team, though.
I know it was a tag team match. I just forgot which one it was. But no, Sting and Darby in that match were fucking awesome. Oh, my God. Sting, Wrestler of the Year. I will hear nothing else about it.
I love Sting.
Sting is great. Like, I mean, man, like the thing is, after everything that happened with Seth Rollins at that pay-per-view when he pretty much got buckle bombed into goddamn oblivion, and we all thought that it was pretty much over.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't think we were ever going to be able to see Sting live again. Me personally too, because I'm like I was not really around when Sting was pretty much there, and like with all of that, and I'm like, if there's one superstar I'm never going to be able to see live, it's Sting. And then they continue to book this card and to build it up. I'm like, Sting and Darby Allin are on the show. I gotta find some way to go to this thing, even if it's just for that alone. And then obviously they announced Kenny Omega and Bryan Danielson. I'm like, oh yeah, it's a done
you're not
deal.
going.
I'm like, it's a done deal.
I want to cut in a little bit here. So you're talking about how Sting was a kind of a vocal point of why you went to the show. Did you see any of Sting's work in TNA Impact? Like from
Yes.
20, yes. You did see his work. Was it before this match? Did you see his work?
Oh
TNA?
yeah. No. Before, actually, funny thing. When it came to the whole TNA WWE kind of whole like saga or whatever, like which one you watch first or whatever, like what really got you in there. Mm-hmm. Before really everything started coming into fruition with WWE, I started watching TNA more when I started watching when the Aces and Eights came around. And yeah, it was something. They
were good in the beginning, but then it just kept going on and on, and they added more members and more members. It was ridiculous.
Exactly. So I started watching it kind of then, and then obviously, I mean, I saw Sting stuff going through all of that, and yeah, but Sting, I was like, if there's one superstar I want to see before they're legitimately done, it is him, and he's been killing it ever since with this pairing with Darby, and I can't applaud him more than what he's been doing right now. It's insane.
It really is. Sting's been doing, I mean, obviously I can't say the best work of his career because he has such a long threshold of matches in his arsenal from WCW, so many that I have never seen before. But to be 63 years old and going at the rate that he is, like all the no cells and the way he's able to hold up in there is absolutely bonkers.
Some of the no cells too and moves he's taking, I'm like, oh my Lord.
Absolutely bonkers.
Went through the table and then he's just standing up. I'm like, cool. Why not?
It really makes you think that if like, and this is only going to be an if scenario because it's never going to happen now. But like, if the Undertaker would have stayed for one more match, like, oh my God, Undertaker versus Sting would not have been as bad as I thought it would have been in my head. Because, you know, in my head, I'm like, oh, Sting's 62. There's no way that match would be good. But I'm seeing it wrestle now, and I'm like, wait a minute. This match might actually have been good now, but probably never going to happen, though, sadly.
Yeah.
WrestleMania 28 came around, and they were doing that whole, you know, Shaq in a thunderstorm, all that kind of deal. Turned out to just be Triple H in the end. I fully believe that was always meant for Sting, no matter what. That promo and that entire kind of thing just fits Sting perfectly, and I'm like, bro, if they don't try to do this, and it obviously just turned out to be Triple H.
I think Dave Meltzer said something along the lines that they were in talks with Sting around that time.
Yeah,
but I think they couldn't reach a deal, so that's why it ended up being Triple H again.
I'm like, dude, it fits Sting perfectly with the whole thunderstorm and Shaq and all that kind of stuff. I'm like, this is meant for Sting. And then it turned out to be Triple H. But hey, it still did turn out to be pretty damn good.
They had a phenomenal match at WrestleMania 28. It's one of my favorite matches.
Yeah, so, I mean, I guess we really can't complain all that much. But yeah, Sting and Undertaker, obviously, would have been a great thing, but
some things are just meant to be dream matches.
Yeah. Bash, you got anything you wanna discuss or anything like that?
Man, sorry, we can take it to wherever. Honestly, AEW has just been absolute fire. Who you got? You think Kenny Omega? Not Kenny Omega. Damn, Hangman is retaining against Bryan Danielson.
Tomorrow, we gotta talk about tomorrow too.
So, this is one of those matches where it's gonna be bittersweet no matter what happens.
Right.
Like, if Hangman beats Bryan, it's like, damn, Bryan's first loss. That's crazy. But if Bryan beats Hangman, it's like, wait a minute, hold on, Hangman has lost. It's like one of less two evils. But what they can't do, and I see some people say, "Oh, double DQ, count out." No, you can't do that. You just can't do that. You've built this up for too long. It's on the show like Winter. You can't do it. Even TV time manning is like, all right, come on now.
If
you wanted to do this and extend it out, you should have saved it for another time. But you want to do it December 15th, so you back yourself into that corner. You got to do a decisive finish. And listen, if you're asking me, Hangman's got to beat Bryan. Like, I want to see Bryan lose this early, but they put themselves in that position for him to lose this early. So it just got to happen.
The thing is, though, Bryan, at this point in his career and at this point of his run right now, he's so goddamn bulletproof. I don't think really the loss is going to hurt him in any way.
No.
Also, you're going to have to find a way for him to lose at some point. So was CM Punk. I mean, they all can't be undefeated forever, so you got to do something like that. And if you wanted to push this out, you could have pushed it to Battle of the Belts in January, but we got so long to go until February for Revolution, or if it turns out to be the first Saturday of March. We got so much to do, man. There's so much left to go through. So doing it here on Winter is Coming, I thought it was a great idea, but man, there are so many other possibilities. At the end of the day,
I think my question, I'm sorry for cutting you off. My question is, if you're doing this match now, Battle of the Belts obviously is their night of champions. Their titles on the line. So who's facing Hangman Page at Battle of the Belts?
That's one question that we all have to figure out.
Everyone could be like, "Oh, MJF, oh, Kenny Omega Revolution," but who's facing him at Battle of the Belts if it's not Bryan? Because you can't have Bryan lose and then here's the rematch. It's like, why is he getting a rematch though?
Yeah, maybe Punk.
I fully believe that it will be MJF versus Hangman at Revolution. I mean, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. I think once
it's
MJF
either going to be MJF or Punk. It's one of the two.
Yeah, like once they're done with each other, they got to go for the world title at some point. And CM Punk has made it clear, very clear, that he wants the AEW world title too. So, man, it's going to be absolutely insane for storytelling wise and all of that. CJ asks, do any of y'all see any debuts happening? I do. I don't think it's Winter is coming. I think Wyndham is coming, and we might be seeing Wyndham Rotunda at AEW Winter is Coming.
Before I answer that question, Bash, you just said that you wanted Punk versus Hangman at Battle of the Belts.
I mean, I feel like if you put MJF up against him first, like I don't know. I feel like MJF could potentially use Hangman as his big win, So just the more wins you kind of give Hangman kind of extensively gives him just more of the title run that he's due, and without giving MJF like a big loss right now, which I feel like giving Punk first would make more sense.
I definitely can see that, but I do want to pose a bit of a situation here because I feel like if you do Punk versus Hangman this early, you've done Punk versus Hangman and Punk versus Bryan in a 2-week span. You've already eliminated two big matches. I think that's way too soon to run through those matches right there.
Yeah.
And then the second thing is, and I'm not trying to down your idea, but I'm just trying to make sure like this is out there. If you do that match in the middle of the MJF and CM Punk feud, MJF winning the title at Revolution, it just seems kind of off. Like, I think if you're going to do that match, you do it after Punk versus MJF happens, which I think the assumption would be that match happens at Revolution, or is that match going to happen at Battle of the Belts? That's the real question here, because that match isn't happening tomorrow.
No.
The real question is, when is that match happening? Because when that match happens, that should be the number one contenders match, and then the winner faces and beats Hangman Page. Because honestly and truly, I think Hangman Page should be the first short-term champion in AEW. We've had Chris Jericho, who had, I believe, like a 6-month reign. Moxley had a 9-month reign. Omega had like an 11-month reign. Somebody can go 4, 5, 6 months and drop it, and then they get it back. I think Hangman's that guy. I don't think Hangman needs a long-term reign. So.
That's an interesting and valid point.
This is what I wanted to pick
I could agree.
Yeah, no. I'm telling you right now, though, once MJF does win that world championship, because it will happen. Like, I mean, it's gonna happen. Yeah. He will be a champion. That Dynamite after, wherever they are, that crowd is going to be absolutely insane, and I can't wait for that.
Oh, I hope it's Long Island, so that way we could see him just like celebrating and the crowd's cheering him. Like
Long Island, so that it's all just cheers instead of just boos, and which we all think. Or, I mean, hey, if you want to come to Connecticut again after Revolution, that's cool by me. Or Michigan.
Can we all just talk about the dynamic of that show for literally the entire? I don't feel like I've ever seen that before. The entire run of AEW, MJF was a heel, and for one night only. And he was a babyface of that crowd alone. I feel like I'm trying to remember in my head, have I ever seen in wrestling where a heel was a heel, and then for one night they were the babyface to the crowd, and then their opponent was we've seen that wrestling sometimes where the crowd is fucking, but not to the magnitude of where MJF is still an asshole, but he's still loved for it. I just felt like that there was magic to that.
Yeah, no, that dynamic was so interesting to me. I loved it all, honestly. Now, speaking, I want to talk about the whole not MJF, but the whole Hangman Adam Page situation with the championship and heading into Bryan Danielson's match tomorrow. I feel like, is Bryan Danielson still going to be a heel after all of this is said and done? Because the thing is, I feel like Bryan was like, all right, well, you guys need somebody credible for his first championship defense. Listen, I know I'm just new here, and I know Kenny Omega, who was a big heel in this company, and he's now out. He's got to do whatever he's got to do. Let me take the reins on this. Let me turn heel for just a little bit. Let me get this man over. And then once everything is all said and done, I can go back to being a babyface. You guys can have me going up against everything like that and go from there. Where are your stances on how Bryan Danielson's heel run is gone? And do you think it's actually going to be staying for the duration of his run here in AEW?
I like where he's at. I just feel like it won't go too much longer.
But I feel like he could be turning right back to babyface once all this is said and done.
Oh yeah, he's beloved.
Because everybody's he's so beloved by everybody. Or do you want to see him stay as a heel?
I've enjoyed it. What about you, Sooplex?
I've enjoyed his heel run a lot. It's only been very short. I think he's only been
Yeah.
doing it for about a month.
Yeah.
The only thing is he's been heel for a month, so I don't think they should turn him babyface right away. I think it should be a
Right.
slow transition into turning babyface. Like I would have him go run heel until like Revolution, and then have something come up where he's feuding with the heel, and then you turn him back babyface. And if they don't do it, like Brian Danielson is
Happens.
it still happens.
I do it all the time.
It happens, and he's been here for a little bit.
He's so great at whatever role you put him in. He could literally run as a heel for the rest of the year, and I would be absolutely fine with it.
Yeah.
You know, if he wanted to go after Sammy Guevara for the TNT Championship, I know some people would be like, "Oh, that's beneath him," but even if he wanted to, he can make that work because he's a fucking excellent heel.
First of all, Guevara versus Danielson, like, bro, like I'd totally be down for that.
Exactly.
I like that. I like that point you made, Phil, with this being the opportunity to use as the way to use for Danielson's loss. So you think that they'll use MJF as that for CM Punk?
100%. MJF has to beat CM Punk here. If he doesn't, then the thing is, like, then who's really going to be the guy to beat him? You know, I mean,
Yeah.
MJF is
Already
so
beat Darby.
on right now.
Yeah.
MJF's so on roll right now. You got to have him get some kind of credible win to get that world championship.
That's facts.
So
I really
yeah,
like MJF too. So
definitely. Yeah, MJF is just great. But yeah, man, TBS Championship tournament coming through very, very soon. We are down to the final four, and that's Nyla Rose taking on Ruby Soho, and Thunder Rosa taking on the undefeated Jade Cargill. I want to talk about Jade real quick, and it sucks that Loft is not here for it because Jade Cargill is absolutely Loft's favorite superstar in AEW. I legitimately think he has a crush on her, and like, it's not even that big, like it's that big of a deal right now. But I also want to just get your thoughts. How have you been feeling since Jade Cargill's come into the company?
I've been loving Jade Cargill's work. Now I will admit that she is still green. I think she still has a way to go. Even when you see her in the ring with other wrestlers, she's definitely the least experienced, and you can
timing
tell by her
is what I really need her to focus on.
Like she still has a way to go, but character-wise, she has it down packed. I think she's one of the most well-developed personalities in AEW, and that's why she has such a core fan base. Because obviously, when it comes to wrestling, promos matter. Oh, we got another guy in here.
Yeah, we got in here.
Because even when you watch other matches like with other women, you could definitely just tell her matches are a little less subpar, and but she definitely nails her character to
absolutely.
That just has excellence to it that brings it up a little bit, like to where she's got validity to it.
And listen, when she does win, and she's going to win the tournament, and when she does win the tournament, she could cement herself as being the secondary. Because obviously, I firmly believe that TBS is not going to be over the AEW Women's World Championship. She could be the secondary to the division up until Thunder Rosa comes in and beats Britt Baker, and then they could tussle it out for a bit. And it's going to be interesting to see what they do with the TBS Championship, because the TBS Championship, I would like to imagine, is going to be primarily on TBS, which is Dynamite. And then you have the Women's Championship, and it's like, well, that could go on Rampage, but that's the World Championship. It's going to be very interesting. That is very interesting. The TBS Championship is going to be Dynamite's belt. I'd imagine that you can obviously do the TBS fucking championship match on Dynamite if you want to, because TBS and TNT, but you want to keep that exclusively to Dynamite, and would you keep the Women's World Championship exclusively to Rampage? That's the real question. Do you keep Britt and Jade separate in that sense?
Because the thing is, now with everybody coming into AEW in the forefront, we got the TNT Championship with Sammy. We got the TBS Championship going to one of those four women. I mean,
I still think it's Jade.
About a brand split all the time right now with AEW. Do you think that could possibly be a thing?
I'm a humongous advocate for the brand split. I will still advocate for the brand split. I know a lot of people are like, they don't need one. They don't need one. But there's over 100 wrestlers contracted to AEW. That's way too much for just 2 shows that are integrated, because people like Joey Janela, people like Brian Cage get lost in the shuffle. And now there's people who like probably are upset with their position. And if you had 2 shows with 2 brands, you wouldn't be in that position as much. I'm not saying that everybody under the sun is going to be world champion. Everyone under the sun is going to be in the main events, but you have less likely that people go months without being seen on television with a brand split.
But do you agree that it's almost as if Rampage, like the way Rampage is run, it's an extensive to Dynamite, so they have to sort of fix that in order to implement a brand split first, I feel, because just the way it's pre-taped and the way that it's just orchestrated, like it really almost can't be its own lonesome brand, and it's something that it can really build off of, I feel, with just being an hour and being pre-taped after Dynamite. I feel like it gets sort of the short end, kind of like the ECW rebrand.
Oh, no, and I think the brand split is where it starts, because obviously it's been known as the extension to Dynamite for, since its inception. I think as soon as you tell people, hey, this show that has been the attention for so long is now going to get its own championship, the TBS championship. If you want to give it another championship, you go right ahead and do that. It's going to have its own championship. It's going to have its own exclusive wrestlers. It's going to have its own exclusive storylines. It's going to have its own exclusive matches that you can see also on pay-per-views. Right away, you've already convinced a lot of people, hey, maybe I should watch Rampage more often, even if it's 1 hour. Because guess what? NXT for the longest time, for 6, 7, 8 years, was its own brand and had its own wrestlers, and they were 1 hour. And since 2014, I want to say 2019, it was the best wrestling show WWE had going for them. So I think that it's possible. I think people forget about that sometimes. It is absolutely possible to have a bread-winning 1 hour wrestling show. Yeah, and I think the brand split is where you start. If you don't do it, then people are just gonna be like, okay, well, this is a show that I can miss, because more than likely I'm not going to see the title chain. I'm not going to see a major storyline advancement on the show. I'm not going to see anything that's really worth my time unless it's a really big match, and that's just how it's going to stay.
Now,
I like that.
Where was I going to go with that? First of all, how are you, Saul? Sorry about that.
I'm good. I was listening to y'all. You were talking about AEW. Well, I was gonna ask you. Are you with All Elite more than WWE currently?
Are you asking me?
Yes, I am.
Oh, I don't watch WWE at all, so yes.
Oh wow! You don't watch.
I'll get Tony to get a contract over to you right away, and we can.
People already think I'm an AEW dick rider, so go ahead. Just
I'll get Tony to send you a contract. I can make him in his All Elite and everything. Everybody calls me PK over here.
There's a lot of content creators out there who already, I feel like, are on the payroll. I'm just wondering where the fuck is my paycheck, Tony?
Exactly.
That's what I'm wondering right now.
Hey, we've been asking Phil where's our paycheck all the time. We're like, Phil, where's the money at?
People have been calling me Phil Con from I think it all started back in August. People were calling me Phil Con. So it kind of just fits. Another thing that I want Rampage to do, and I feel like we can all agree to this to some extent, and if you guys don't, please feel free to speak your own mind. First of all, like Bash said, needs to get rid of the pre-taped stuff. You can tell when it's taped, and the thing is, pretty much almost everybody is out of the arena at that point. Also, another thing, can we please change the goddamn time slot? I hate being right after 10 o'clock, at 10 o'clock, going to another show. Yeah, sure, it's only 1 hour. But if you put it on either a different day to a different actual time slot, for me, that would just work perfectly. And the thing is, I feel like it could help everybody else out as well. I don't know if you feel that way, but to me,
Saturday Rampage
being pre-taped and needs to go live.
No, I absolutely agree. I think a lot of people, what they don't consider, and I don't expect them to because they're not in the television realm, But I think what some people don't consider is that they're in this time slot because TNT wants that time slot filled up because Rampage is doing really good numbers for them on a Friday night at 10 p.m. Rampage is doing
right.
good. So unless Rampage gets to a point where they're doing 300K, 200, if they start doing terrible in that slot, then they'll get moved out because you're not benefiting TNT anymore. But if they keep on doing a consistent 500K, 600K, sadly, it's one of those Monday Night Raw 3-hour things where it's like if it's not necessarily completely killing the show, it's not going to go anywhere. I wanted to because like many of you, we have jobs, and a lot of our jobs we either get off around 10 p.m. or before 10 p.m. By the time we get home, I'm fucking tired, bro. I don't know watch fucking rent or I'm going out with friends. Like I ain't trying to come home and watch fucking wrestling at 10 p.m. on Friday night. Like the fuck.
Yeah.
Like, maybe if I was like 40 or something, but like bro, I'm 24.
As a kid, you thought it was the dopest thing to do. He's like 10 o'clock, it's wrestling, yeah. But no.
But then when you're an adult, you're like,
when you're an adult, you're like, man, I got stuff to do.
It's a different story. No worries, Josh. Just glad that you're here, Mo.
Up,
always good to see you. We also got Santa in the chat.
Santa.
We got Santa.
He still didn't give me what
Santa, what are you doing?
Call their chat dad, but you know, it's okay.
That man still owes me. That man owes me a lot of gifts throughout the years of Christmas.
Go to vibe, Santa.
We got Santa. How are you? We've gotten some crazy people come in here. We've had Santa. We've had Darby Allin in here at one point. Not really. We've had MJF. We had Sammy Guevara. I'm like, we've actually had some people in here.
Speaking of MJF, Sooplex. Do you agree that? What did you think when they had the mic off between Punk and MJF? Did you enjoy it? Did you think MJF won the mic off, or do you think Punk, or was it a toss up for you?
The first one or the second one?
The first one.
The first one was amazing. Who won? Ooh. You know, I feel like it's probably, I would say Punk won that one only because he was centered the whole time. And here's the thing about CM Punk that I love so much is that young CM Punk was always ready to go off. He was always like, I have bullets in the chamber. I'm ready to shoot from the hip, break the fourth wall, all that bullshit. And that's why we love, cult of personality, voice of CM Punk. CM Punk at his old age, I just love seeing him sit in a corner and just watch people go off, and then he just come back like, yeah, well, you're a bitch, and this is why you suck. And then he just stops talking, he's like such a dad. It's like he just lets you go off, and then he just starts
Are you done?
He's such a dad.
Exactly. He's such a dad, and I just love it. CM Punk at old age, his promos are great. Now the last one he did with MJF, like the one when they were inverted, that one was weird because all he did was just insult the town and talk about how the Islanders and that one was corny. I didn't like that one at all. Yeah. But
watching it live, I was like, "Yo, that was heat." And then I saw a hella replays, and I'm like, how did I? I'm like, what I interpreted face value is not what I saw back on the replay.
And the Britt Baker stuff, I don't know where that's coming from. I don't know. I was so lost when they kept
mentioning about the Britt Baker. I'm like, first of all, you're not going to talk about my girl like that. Figure out that even if she did replace MJF as a fourth pillar, I mean, it's not going to be a complaint about me, but to a lot of MJF fans, that's a big problem.
I just felt like that was one of those things where an inch went a mile, because I think it just went to like some reference they did in like a previous promo where I think CM Punk said that Britt Baker replaced her, and then like the 1 week after Dynamite he wore Britt Baker's jacket.
He wore a shirt.
Now
it's like this replacing MJF.
Yeah, and now it's just almost like this continuing trend in their story where it's like, okay, unless Britt Baker's gonna come out during this storyline at some point, I don't see why she's an integral part of this focal point.
Next
so
week,
I find that very interesting. Why
it's gonna be Punk coming out to Britt's song.
And the thing is, they didn't just make that shirt for Punk. That's actually being sold on Shop AEW.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
So, I mean,
now the second one. In the second promo, who won that one? Was it MJF or was it Punk?
The second one, honestly and truly, I felt like that one was a standstill because I thought that one was very weak. I feel like they used up a lot of their ammunition in the first one, and there was not too much to go off of. I might give it slightly to MJF, but there wasn't really too much to go off of from the second one. And then, like I said, the third one where it wasn't really back and forth because it was a CM Punk talking about how New Yorkers suck. Like that one was just corny. It's like ever since the first one, the quality of it is slowly descended. So hopefully they're going to get back up to it next year and they're going to start going at each other. But my fear is that they went 20 minutes for 1 week and they used up a lot of content in that 20-minute mark. That's my concern. So hopefully I'm wrong.
I feel like MJF can still do things when it comes to CM Punk and he's been gone for 7 years. So I feel like you can actually still kind of pull some stuff out of the bag and let everything out. But when it comes to CM Punk, he's been watching AEW for a little bit now. That's kind of the reason why he's all here and all that. But like, they really need to figure out some ways in order to get the promos to do some work. And the thing is, even with their work on the mic, at the end of the day, we got to figure out when this thing's going to happen. But we can't be pushing this all the way until like the first week of March, because that's just way too damn long of a story. When are we going to be able to see this thing take place? Maybe the first TBS show, or Battle of the Belts. I'm pretty sure that's just only going to be championship matches. So when is this happening? Like, because if you're telling me, I legitimately don't know.
I would do it on the January 5th show.
You want to do it at Revolution?
No, January 5th. I would do it at the first TBS show. You can
that would make sense.
That's not a championship match. You can do a rematch of Revolution. They did it before with John Moxley and Eddie Kingston. It's possible.
Yeah. The first TBS show is probably the only.
And if you really want to shock people, have MJF win the first match and then have him win the second match too, and really solidify him as a top contender for Heyman.
Punk puts over MJF on the 5th. I wouldn't mind that.
No, have him put over MJF on the 5th and at Revolution. Do it twice.
And Revolution? Oh wow.
If you want Heyman, if you want
I'm a big
MJF
fan.
To be a top contender, have him go over twice.
I'm a big fan. So just the one thing, I did fell off AEW after Moxley won the title, but after coming back and watching it, been watching MJF, I was like, I like this guy. This guy knows how to push people's buttons. And to be honest, I please don't hate me for it. He kind of reminds me of Roddy Piper a little bit, but differently. But like, I could see the standpoints of both. They know how to push people's buttons. They know how to rub people the wrong way. I see it. I see Piper and MJF.
Oh yeah, MJF is great. I do think he could be a bit one-dimensional at times, but he is definitely a great character.
Most definitely.
In what sense? I'm not just trying to shoot you down or whatever, but in what sense is the one-dimensional coming from?
Yeah,
well, the thing about MJF, when I say that he's one-dimensional, and I don't mean as a shot at MJF at all.
Yeah, no, I just want to get your points.
But when I say MJF is one-dimensional, because the character at its core is a snobby rich kid who comes from money, he's spoon-fed, all he knows is money, and he doesn't know anything else. Because all of his life he's wrapped in luxury, there's not really too much you can go to in terms of insulting him other than you're rich, you're wealthy, you don't know. Like, I feel like there's not too much you could insult about MJF outside of he's rich and I am not rich, so therefore I don't like you. Otherwise, MJF promo wise, he can be a bit one-dimensional in the sense that I'm going to insult your city. You people are poor. You people are ugly. You're fat. I don't like women. Like, I could run down MJF from a
that makes me like him even more.
And, and that's the thing. I feel like some wrestling fans get tied up in the whole, he can break the fourth wall, and he insults the fans a lot. That's a lot of great heat. But if you rewatch a lot of MJF promos, a lot of the times they're repeats of what he said 4 or 5 weeks ago. This is a different city name. I love MJF, but he can repeat himself a lot. And because his character is so this and that's it, there's not too much else he can go from, which I feel like at some point I want to see him start to break away. And I'm not saying you got to ditch the whole rich boy gimmick, but maybe get more sadistic with it. You know what I mean? Like how Edge used to get sadistic with his opponents. Like the MJF and CM Punk storyline right now is just based off the fact that, oh, CM Punk is grizzled and old and I don't like him because of that. And CM Punk's like, oh, you are a fan of mine. You're young and you're stupid. And that's why I don't like you. And it's like, okay, well, what else beyond that point are we going to get out of these promos? Because like I said, they used up a lot of content in the first week. What are we doing going into March? What are we doing going into February? What are we doing going into January? Like, is MJF going to start insulting AJ Lee? Like, okay, that might be something there.
AJ comes to AEW? Oh my God, I would like to see that, honestly.
That's a long shot, but it's like, I feel like there's got to be other things about MJF other than he's just a rich boy from Queens, New York, or Long Island.
He's from New Island. I think he's from
Long Island.
Yeah,
Long Island.
Yeah, he's from Long Island.
But yeah, I mean, I can totally see where you're coming from.
I do like where he fully leans into it, though. Like he really does lean into himself, and I really appreciate his work. So, but I do see your points.
Oh no, I'm not saying that MJF is a bad character at all. I think he's a great character. I just feel like he could be a bit redundant sometimes. That's all.
Yeah, I can see that.
It's a heel outside of WWE that I can actually get. I can get behind heels in WWE sometimes here and there, but a heel outside of WWE though, MJF, bro, you got me on point on there. Like MJF, I'm a big fan of MJF. I hope he becomes AEW World Champ one day. I can see this man's the future of the company.
He will.
Yeah, I mean they have the 4 pillars for a reason. I mean. Yeah. So, I mean, I did kind of want to talk about that TBS championship thing just a little bit longer. We have the 4 people, like I said earlier, Ruby, Nyla.
Nyla's still in.
And we have, Nyla's still here.
Oh God, I thought we got rid of her.
No, not yet. Soon. And then Thunder and Jade. It's just the thing is the first TBS show is going to be the championship match on January 5th. And I know Jade Cargill is going to win this championship, and I know she's going to win this tournament. But I just feel in my heart of hearts that the bigger match for that TBS show, the first TBS show, would have been would have been Thunder and Ruby.
I wouldn't mind that match.
I feel, but I know Jade's gonna pull up that one.
You could see Ruby
on both accounts.
Hey, quick question, Phil. Not quick question. Little catch there. You could see Ruby and Thunder if Thunder beats Brett for the
Thunder. Well, yeah, but I mean, at the end of the day, I mean that's not happening for a very long time, or at least until Revolution comes around for Thunder and
Ruby
and Brett. So I don't know. What were your thoughts on the finals? I mean, I know you pretty much have it all set in stone that Jade's gonna win this thing, but I just feel like the bigger matches, Thunder and Ruby.
Oh, wait, who are you asking?
You.
Oh, okay. No. I was just trying to, because there's like 2 people. I'm like, wait a minute, which one are you asking? Okay, so when you get down to Thunder Rosa versus Ruby, right? It's Thunder Rosa versus Ruby.
That's what I would do, yeah, for TBS.
I like that idea. I think it's great. The only thing is, if you do Thunder Rosa versus Ruby, I think the consensus would be that Ruby would win, right? Or do you think Thunder Rosa should win? Because if Thunder Rosa wins, you can't do Britt and Thunder Rosa.
No, Ruby. 100% that would have to be the case.
No, I think that sounds like a good idea. Now, if you do that, then Jay loses to Thunder Rosa, and you kind of derail a lot of her momentum by having her lose in the tournament. If it's Thunder Rosa, okay, so then it's Ruby versus Nyla. I just hope that Ruby beats Nyla, because the thing about Nyla,
I was like, it's gonna be Jade and Nyla.
See, it's fine. I like Nyla, but she's been in that title picture so many times that I'm just tired of seeing her. She's been in like 4 championship matches. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
But no, man, I totally like your idea. I would still have Jade win, though.
Yes, Jade is most likely. Jade is the most one out of the women to win that title for sure. And I understand
she goes by that show, but still, like you just because she goes by TBS doesn't really mean you have to lock the TBS title on her. That's really my only thinking of it.
I'd never even thought of that bitch show on TBS. That's
yeah,
so
I
clever.
honestly didn't.
I'm like, wait a minute.
Goes
That,
by TBS,
I didn't even
but
think
still.
about that.
I just put like two
You
wires
guys
together.
legitimately
You and me both. You and me both. I'm like, wait a minute. Huh? Oh my god.
You really didn't make that click and connection?
Yeah,
No, I never
I did
thought about
not
it
make
like that.
Wow, okay.
I
Perfect
can see it.
setup. Perfect
Yeah.
setup.
I mean, yeah, but I don't know. I just feel like the bigger match would have been Thunder and Ruby.
Well, I
Calling
mean, you
back.
don't have to run through everything so quickly, though. You can always do
True.
Thunder Ruby.
That's also a big thing, too.
You don't want to do
Because-
all of your big matches in one tournament.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
True.
What was I gonna say?
I just wanted to see where your thoughts were at on that.
I was gonna say
But
something.
yeah.
I was gonna ask Sooplex. What are your thoughts on Adam Cole's run in AEW?
It's been good so far. I mean, it hasn't been like phenomenal or anything, but I wasn't expecting Adam Cole to come in and win the AEW World Championship right away. I feel like a lot of people had a very unrealistic expectation, and it's like if he comes in and he joins the Elite, you can't expect him to go right after the world title.
Yeah.
Now, here's the thing: now that Kenny Omega's out the picture, it would be ideal for Adam Cole to either A, start leading the Elite, or B, if Kyle O'Reilly comes in, you do a Undisputed Era reunion, and then he goes off on his own with them and leaves the Elite. I think if Kyle O'Reilly comes in, he got to break away from the Elite. You can't have Kyle O'Reilly, Bobby Fish, the Young Bucks, and like that's OP.
So
That's
overpowered.
for one faction. You gotta break it. That's too much.
Yeah, I saw this meme where it says Young Bucks. I saw this meme where it said Young Bucks versus Kyle O'Reilly and Bobby Fish, the custody of Adam Cole.
Oh my god, that's hilarious.
Custody of Adam Cole.
But yeah, no, if Adam Cole manages to break away from the Elite with Kyle and Bobby Fish, then yeah, I think he's definitely horizon bound for the AEW World Championship. If he sticks with the Elite and he's still in that spot where he's teaming with the Young Bucks, but there's nothing else that he's really doing, then I don't really know where that road is taking him.
Just like
I feel like if he's in the Elite and Kenny's not there, he should be leading it, but that's not what they're doing. They're having this thing where Kenny's not there and now they're just lost. Because I don't know if you guys feel the same way, but I feel like the Elite almost feels lost without Kenny being there. Where they're they're facing off against Jurassic Express. Now they face off against Best Friends, and that's all fine and dandy, but they felt way more centered when Kenny was there. Once he left, it's like, oh, well, let's just start feuding with other people until Kenny comes back. And it's like, you could do so much more.
Kenny's not going to be coming back for a very long time because I hear with the shoulder and everything that he's still having lingering issues with. He might be going in for surgery, and we all know how long shoulder surgeries. Try saying that 5 times fast. You know how long those goddamn take. So it could be a very long time until we see Kenny again.
Look at
But then again, with how deep this roster is, Kenny's not going to be missed. I mean,
he'll be missed.
He'll be missed.
I don't think. I think what you meant was the roster will hurt too much if he's not there. I think that's what you meant.
Yeah, okay. Pretty much in that sense, I guess.
I miss Kenny already. Actually, to be honest. I like Kenny Omega. I love the man's ring work. Mm-hmm. Yes, his mic skills. Yeah, I know, but his ring ability.
You got Don Callis.
Without Don Callis, Kenny Omega was phenomenal. It's phenomenal. Without the Elite and everything, fantastic. But when he does come back, though, if Adam Cole is still stuck in this, in this thing with the Bucks, and Kenny does,
he does already Elite.
Yeah, could you see the Bucks turn on Cole if Kenny came back? If he didn't have the shoulder injury?
Oh, I mean, if what I see the Young Bucks turning on Adam Cole
again,
I feel like there would have to be a reason for them to turn on Adam Cole, because like they're doing this thing where like they're kissing him and everybody is just not like that, but they're kissing him, everyone's just like happy go lucky. But there would have to be an incentive for the turn. I mean, maybe they were doing it backstage. I don't know. But there would have to be some incentive for the turn to happen. If Adam Cole turns on the Young Bucks and he goes with Kyle O'Reilly, Babyface, it's like, oh, well, those are the guys he teamed with in the other company. So that makes sense. But if the Bucks turn Adam Cole, why? You guys wanted him in the Elite to begin with.
Yeah.
It's like you can't just kick him out because Kenny's back now, because at the end of the day, before Kenny got hurt, it was Kenny, Adam, and the Bucks. They were all.
Yeah, I mean, you resurrected him from the goddamn dead from BTE.
I'm not shooting down you. I'm not shooting you down. I'm just saying there would have to be an incentive for them to turn on Adam Cole, because right now there almost is none.
Maybe it could be I don't know if when they just kind of, I don't know, it's kind of cheap, but just kind of making them fall in line with Kenny. If Kenny turns on Adam, they turn on Adam, but then again, it goes against having them wanting Adam in the first place,
Adam Cole versus Kenny Omega in AEW would
now,
love to see that.
If Adam wins the world championship before all that happens, okay, you could say, well, Kenny wants the title back.
Ooh.
But if he doesn't, then that doesn't make sense.
Kenny Cole world title, give that to me, please. When you come back, though.
That's a good incentive. Cole wins the title. Kenny comes back. Kenny wants it back. There you go.
Really
give that to me. Give that to me. I want to see that. I want to see them tear the house down for real. Give me that.
It'll happen at some point. We just gotta wait patiently. And that's the thing I love about AEW. It's so new that there's so many matches that are still to come that we haven't even seen yet. That's
so
it's only year 2, heading into year 3, whenever that 3rd anniversary show comes around. Back in October of that year.
I mean, for crying out loud, I want to see Bryan Danielson versus Jon Moxley in AEW.
We were supposed to get that, and then Jon Moxley went into rehab. We're definitely going to get it next year when he comes back from rehab.
Oh yeah,
we were definitely going to get it.
Yeah, we were supposed to get that full gear finals of the tournament.
No, Bryan's a heel. Wasn't that supposed to be Moxley the whole time?
Yeah, was supposed to turn. Yes.
Jon Moxley turning heel, I actually would be down for that.
I mean, he was already going into these things where he was just beating guys in 5 seconds and just leaving just because he's a goddamn badass, and then all of a sudden everything happened with him.
But see what he did to Dark Order 10?
That's kind of the thing with Jon Moxley, is that his character is so badass that's even if he turned heel, there's not really much.
People are gonna cheer him.
Yeah, you don't have to do much.
Most people are gonna cheer him anyway. So it's his character's not gonna change.
It's gonna be the exact opposite of Cody Rhodes.
Basically.
Thank God. Something in the world.
The exact goddamn opposite. But speaking of Cody,
hate Cody with a passion.
Yeah, he does. Speaking of Cody,
I can't. Listen, I can't. I can't. Your take on Cody? I'm sorry. I don't like him. I'm just not a fan. I mean, him in the ring, pretty good, but I can't get behind the man. I never did. Never. Not even when he was in WWE.
I think I'm well known for being a Cody Rhodes hater. I have not been a Cody Rhodes fan since the very beginning of 2020. I can say before this bandwagon of Cody hating started, I was the front runner. I was on the bus first. But we're in this very weird spot, I think, with Cody Rhodes right now, because he's doing this very weird thing where I'm calling it he's trolling the fans. He's letting you know that he knows that you know that he should be a heel, but he doesn't want to turn heel just yet. So he's going to go to the heel tunnel, then turn away. He's going to pull out the golden shovel, then I'm not going to use it. He's just cock teasing everybody right now. And it's do I like this? I don't feel like I like this, because what you're telling me is that you know that I don't like it, and you're going to keep on doing it until you turn heel. Now, the thing is, Cody has told me multiple times to my face that he's not going to turn heel. So I feel like I should listen to him at face value. And it's okay, if we're listening to you at face value, you're not going to turn heel. Why the hell do you keep teasing me every week?
I'm just never, probably never will ever get behind Cody, in my opinion. Never.
If Cody Rhodes were to turn heel, would you get behind him?
No, absolutely not. Because because I can't get behind the man. I just can't. It's I never did. I thought I did when he was in WWE, when he did the whole authority storyline type of vibe. they were going to push him, but then all of a sudden it kind of wind down. And then he got into the whole Stardust thing and stuff like that. And I was like, yeah.
So you're not a fan of his wrestling at all?
Oh, I love his wrestling. Don't get me wrong, but like I'm not a fan of his character. I don't even know if the man has character. I bet he does, but like I never got behind anything that he had as a character ever.
Oh yeah, he definitely has a character, and people always call him Homelander, which I don't necessarily think is true because Homelander from the get-go lets you know that he's an asshole, and Cody Rhodes has yet to show that he's an asshole. He's just a good guy to your face. Cody Rhodes is toxic positivity. That's his character. Toxic positivity.
I don't hate him as a human, but like just the character, I don't.
No, me and you are in the same boat. Me and you are absolutely in the same boat. What's Cody turn? I gotta say once because at this point, like I don't know. He keeps trolling me. I don't know if he actually is or not. And if he doesn't, then it's like, well, what the fuck are you doing then?
Exactly.
I mean,
if Cody does all this and does not turn heel, then at that point you're just dick slapping me.
Yeah,
yeah, pretty much.
Basically,
he pulls out a sledgehammer. He pulling out a goddamn golden shuffle. He does the double underhook like he's about to do the goddamn pedigree. What are you trying to do here?
Well, the thing is, he's had so many opportunities to turn heel, and then he doesn't do it. It's like, well, how many opportunities are you just gonna keep on saying, "Oh, I might do it"? Like, I'm annoyed now. Just fucking do it already. Damn.
And I always kept the plot. And the one thing though is the funny thing about it is the whole Malachi Black feud thing. I always was freaking hyping up Malachi for kicking him in the face. I'm like, yeah, kick him in the face.
Well, and the funny thing is that Cody Rhodes is so dead set on wanting the fans to cheer him that he's willing to put his own body on the line to do it.
That's another thing I
don't. And it's like a lot of people have this humongous respect for him, and I respect the hell out of Cody Rhodes. But at the end of the day, he looks like a fucking idiot because it's like you can literally just turn heel and not have to go through a flaming table to get the fans to cheer you. You could have went through the flaming table as a heel, and the fans would have cheered you for it.
Yeah,
but instead, you keep going against the grain, and you did it, and the fans still booed you. That's your own fault.
Did they cheer him when he did that moonsault off that cage? Did I even hear?
Yeah, they did because people liked Cody Rhodes at the time. He was
he wasn't being hated at the time.
Cody Rhodes did not become dislikable until like the majority did not start disliking Cody Rhodes until recently. Like what? I want to say Double or Nothing. His feud with Anthony Ogogo is when they started disliking him.
Yeah.
Cody Rhodes, I've disliked him since 2020 when he started the TNT Championship reign. He started beating his entire roster. I didn't really understand that. It's like, you're the EVP. Why are you beating your roster? The fact that he comes out to his own theme, to his own entrance, the middle of the ramp, he's the only person who does it. He's the only person who gets pyro before and after his matches. He always makes sure he gets the most shine. He always beats his opponent, no matter who it is, unless it's MJF or Chris Jericho. He always gets the win back. His character screams self-indulgence. He's portrayed himself as the hero to us. Like, yes, I am your savior, but it's like you're doing this for yourself.
Yeah,
nobody asked you to be the hero.
Exactly.
The thing is also Malachi Black, the first match that they had, Cody already made it about himself at the end of that. All of that, you could have just had yeah, sure, you did the right thing, you put him over. Sorry, my voice is getting a little bit scratchy, but you did the right thing. You put him over, and then all of a sudden you get up, you have all that happen, and then as soon as the show going off the air, you have your boots, you take them off, you put them in the middle of the ring, they find that you're retiring. We all know that was not the goddamn case. You made it about yourself when it should have been all about Malachi Black and his debut in that moment. And then obviously, I love the storytelling that he does, but then first of all, the blood is way too much. You don't need to be bleeding in a normal one-on-one match. And then you just do all that kind of stuff. What were your thoughts when that whole I'm retiring thing came about?
Oh, I just thought it was so melodramatic. Like, first of all, nobody in the entire arena or the entire world thought you were really retiring. Like, I don't know who the fuck you were fooling when that happened.
Exactly.
But then on top of that, it's like, I'm not retiring, yippee. And then Arn Anderson the next week slaps Cody and is like, and then they start this thing where Cody like pull out the Glock Anderson and everything. And then at the end of the day, Cody didn't even turn heel. Like, okay, so Aaron Anderson is a bully confirmed. He's a terrible father confirmed, but then nothing for you. I have no idea what the point of that was at the end of the day.
Love, my boy is here. How are you, my man?
Not famous.
Hey, how are you?
Hey, Jeff Hardy in the chat. Let's go.
Yeah. What's going on with y'all?
We were just talking about.
We were talking about Cody, sadly, but
Why?
Because I was talking about, I was asking his thoughts about Cody, and thank God
I
I'm
see
not
the
the only one
flaws
that
in
does
the
that.
arguments, but I don't hate him that much.
I really don't hate the man that much. But the thing is,
Yeah,
here's
I
the
don't
thing.
either.
You want him to do something. You want him to be absolutely hated for everything that he is under the sun right now. I know a lot of people are going to disagree with me, and you know it. That's perfectly fine. But you have him beat Sammy Guevara for that TBS championship. That man is going to get major heat. And the thing is, that's your heel turn right there.
Yes, but no, because if Cody Rhodes beats him clean, then he still doesn't turn heel. Now he has heat that he doesn't.
Well, then
if he beats him, he should cheat.
I wouldn't have him win clean. That's the thing.
Oh, okay, then I agree with you. I thought you were saying he just.
I wouldn't have him win clean.
Then that's counterproductive.
If you guys think I would have had him win clean against Sammy Guevara, nah. You would have to finish. Wasp. I'm like a king of AEW at this point. You need to understand that I'd figure something out with that.
I would hope so.
I'm all elite for a reason. Phil let me on
Josh
the train.
Greer in the chat, he said, "I think I went too far. Called Cody a bad father. I called Arn a bad father, not Cody.
Not Cody. Cody just became a dad.
No, I called Arn a bad father. That's
He did.
I said Cody just became a father. What do you mean?
I don't think Cody's
barely a father. Boys barely won.
But I want to go back to when you were talking about the retirement. Same here. I knew instantly he wasn't going to retire. When he put the boots there, I'm like, okay, is he legit retiring or is he just messing with me again? And right when Malachi hit him, I was like, yep, he's not retiring. He's coming back. He's just taking some time off because he's going to have a kid. And once he comes back, you're going to have that feud with Malachi. And he's going to get kicked in the face again, which I enjoyed, by the way.
So Cody beat him in the end.
Yeah. And then on the audacity, you had him finish the feud and beat Malachi in the fourth match that they had. Was it fourth? How many times did they face each other? 4 times?
The third match.
Third. Okay. Gotcha. Oh, I said this. I said, Phil.
Oh, wait, hold on, because then they move on to Andrade, and Andrade beat Cody.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right.
But then Cody beat him in the end too. So.
I love Andrade. I love Andrade so much. I mean, not just because he was feuding with Cody. I liked Andrade ever since he arrived here. Honestly,
Andrade in NXT in 2018 couldn't be touched.
Oh my God, yes. His match with Johnny Gargano, phenomenal.
I was there live, man. Still one of the greatest acts.
Wait, you were there?
I was there.
What was it like? What was the electricity?
Oh, it was fucking amazing, man. I was there with my sister, my 2 cousins, and bro, listen, everybody and everyone was on their feet the entire time. Like, in my opinion, that's still the greatest match I've ever seen live. Top 5 greatest of all time for me, but that's personally me.
Wait a minute.
No, it was outstanding, man.
So I've
watched that match like at least 10 times.
Wait a minute. So you saw Adam Cole versus Aleister Black in Extreme Rules match.
Yes, sir.
Probably by far one of my favorite matches in NXT.
Yeah, it's one of the most forgotten ones too because it literally went on right before Andrade and Johnny. So a lot of people tend to forget about that match. But that was a great Extreme Rules match. One of the best WWE's ever had.
Mm-hmm. And then, that Andrade, love him. I think, same thing. Hope he becomes champion too. I want Andrade as champion. TNT.
Great. When it comes to Andrade and championship gold in AEW, he is going to be a future champion. There's no doubt about it. Andrade is kind of in a very weird place to me right now.
I think so.
He was kind of having this thing where he was being managed by Vicky for a little bit, and then all of a sudden that stopped. And then all of a sudden, Chavo came in, and then he turned on Chavo, and then all of a sudden there was. I mean, this man's not really going to be coming in anytime soon, and I don't think really ever at this point. But then all of a sudden, rumblings were happening to where Ric Flair was going to be managing Andrade, and we all know how that kind of went down. But
I was kind of glad that didn't happen. Honestly, I was very glad.
The way now, after everything that happened, I'm kind of glad of that too. But Andrade's in a very weird place for me right now. I don't know what it is, and maybe
I thought Chavo could have went longer, man. I
felt like Andrade has been in a real place ever since ever since Chavo left. Yeah. He's been in a real place since he came in AEW. I remember he came in, he faced off against Matt Sydal, then he disappeared for like a few weeks. Then he had a tag team match, then he had a massive pack, and then he disappeared again. Then he came back, and then he disappeared again. Then he came back to start feud with Cody, and then he lost in the feud with Cody. Booking the entire time has been weird.
Wait a minute. Didn't he face Kenny in AAA? Is that
well? Yeah, but that's not the lore of AEW though.
Yeah, that's not AEW loyal.
Yeah, that's true.
He did.
I mean, if you want to count that, he lost to Kenny, so that didn't do anything.
Lost to Kenny. Yeah.
That ref was messed up, by the way.
I watched that match back. I don't know. Well, maybe it's just the way they do things over there in AAA, but I that match was way a little bit overhyped, in my opinion. But,
very much not match of the year.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
I was gonna ask you. Did you guys already talk about Hangman? How you feel about him being world champion?
Yeah, we did. But
a little bit.
We can go back to that for a little bit.
Yeah, we talked about it a little bit.
So Hangman. Hangman. I enjoy it, but also this Bryan Danielson heel turn. I've been liking it. That's
what we like.
I've been liking it, and I like how he's doing like how they did 5 Labors of Jericho. I feel like he's doing that with the Dark Order. He's taken down every single one of them to get to Hangman. I like that. That's very well booking right there. He's taking down every single one of them every Wednesday, or Saturday or Friday, don't matter. And all of a sudden he's like, I'm saving you for last, Hangman, so nobody can save you. I love it.
Not like a 2. I just hope AEW doesn't fall into a booking pattern where we see that too often. That's the second time we've seen it, which isn't bad. But I just hope it doesn't fall into a booking pattern.
Yeah.
No, very easy. Yeah.
I mean, with how deep the Dark Order and everything is, it was just kind of easy to do that kind of a story.
Yeah, I'm not saying you can't do it again, but definitely space it out because it's like the Labors of Jericho thing. Technically, was like 4 months ago.
Yeah.
Like next one, you got to space it out. Maybe do it like back next time in like June or something. Don't do it again for a while.
Mm-hmm. Jericho. Since we're talking about Jericho, do you think Jericho should? I don't like when I do that to people. Do you think Jericho should retire? Do you think Jericho still got some?
I mean, that's entirely up to Jericho if he wants to retire. I mean, I feel like his usefulness as a wrestler in AEW, like, I feel like that's a little bit passed by. Like, we've already had him as the world champion. I feel like he's done most of what he can do in the ring. I feel like he definitely has a role if he wants to be a manager or something. If he wants to be on commentary, I don't really care for that. But like,
yeah, I was like, people don't necessarily like that.
Him. I'm not an advocate for this guy should retire unless they're like brutally injured or like really harming themselves. But if Jericho's healthy, he can keep going. Things healthy, he's still going.
I wouldn't mind it. Let's have one more time. Yeah, Chris Jericho being the AEW World Champion one more time. I actually wouldn't mind that, but
I'm not asking for it. But
I love the Judas Effect. When I first saw the Judas Effect, I was like, "Ooh, I like that." I was like, "But I'm gonna miss the Code Breaker. He barely uses it now."
Yeah, well,
I'm more of a Lion Tamer guy.
Yeah, the Lion Tamer. Okay.
Not. Wait. So you're not for the Walls of Jericho?
You talked about Chris Jericho early on.
It's a Boston Crab. Anybody could do a Boston Crab, but Chris Jericho does a Lion Tamer.
Yeah. Lion.
Plus, how often do people tap out to the Walls of Jericho?
Not
very often.
Frequently. I've rarely seen it on AEW. I haven't seen anybody tap out to the Walls. I don't think I've seen anybody tap out to the walls. Have you guys? I don't think so.
I don't think anybody really has. I don't think there's not any that happened.
Mr. Kennedy did it better, so it's cool.
Mr. Kennedy. Okay.
It's gonna be the
Oh,
most
no.
crazy.
Oh yes.
You mean Mr. Anderson?
Mr. I was gonna. Oh, another one is. What are your thoughts on the AEW tag team division? Like, do you think?
Holy crap, she get into that.
It's the best tag division in all professional wrestling.
Yes. Do
Thank
you have a favorite tag team? Do you have a favorite tag team?
Ooh,
That's tough.
That's
a good question, Sauce.
You know, I feel like there's a difference between the best and my favorite.
Okay, respect.
The best tag team in AEW is the Young Bucks. My favorite tag team in AEW is probably the Lucha Brothers. Right?
Yes. Oh, Seattle.
I like both.
Yes. Let's go. The best. You said the best. Yes, Lucha Bros are my favorite. I also have to say they're the best. I get you guys say the Bucks, but for me, I say the Lucha Bros.
No, that's definitely a great answer. I would argue that the Young Bucks have been the most consistent tag team wrestlers in AEW in really of the last 2-3 years. But the Lucha Bros, they're fucking awesome. That's why they're my favorite right now.
And the Lucha Bros, I can't wait. Revolution, Santana and Ortiz versus Lucha Bros, AEW Revolution for the tag titles.
Scrap that. We gotta do the Lucha Bros versus what was I about to say? Darby and Sting. That's what I want.
Yo,
give me Darby and Sting.
Yo.
Well, the thing is, we also gotta take into account Jurassic Express because I mean they're the current number one contenders right now for those tag
for like the
titles.
8th time. I mean, I guess.
How many times have they?
Let me stop. I actually love Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus. Let me stop.
You gotta
But
love
the thing is, we still gotta get through that. So I think that match could probably happen at the Battle of the Bells pay-per-view. Just get that out of the way, and then we can really do Santana and Ortiz for Revolution. I mean,
my thing is, if they're not gonna win it, like they need to go to the back of the line because they've been number one contenders like 4 or 5 times already, and they lose every time.
not Santana and Ortiz.
No, I'm talking about Jurassic Express.
Okay, yeah.
Oh no, you should see the Acclaim and the not the Young Bucks, the Acclaim and the Lucha Bros. I think
I wouldn't mind seeing
he just had a match on Rampage a few weeks ago.
Yeah,
I wouldn't mind a feud between the Lucha Bros and the Acclaim. I wouldn't mind that.
That wouldn't be bad.
now the Lucha Brothers have had the tag team titles for around 80 days up until this point. Revolution, I would probably come into the around. They'd be in the hundreds at that point. I mean, I think it would still be kind of too soon to take the titles off of them. No, at
Yes.
Revolution. I mean, that's it, it's kind of. I want to see Santana and Ortiz as tag team champions so bad, but the thing is, you gotta have Lucha Bros have some kind of a credible reign.
I mean,
I've enjoyed their reign. Their reign has been.
especially the match. I love their match against the Bucks at All Out in that steel cage. And can I just say that was match of the night? When they won it. Can I just say that was match of the night on that paper?
Match of the year.
Match of the year? Okay, I agree. I do agree. Can you agree?
I was posing a question. I don't know if I would say that's match of the year, but
You wouldn't say that. No, match. I said match of the night. That was match.
Oh
of
no,
the
I
year.
was asking you. Would you say it's match of the year too? Or
When I say it's match of the year, it's on there. I mean,
Okay.
I would say match of the year as a tag team match. Yes, most likely.
One of the most memorable, that's for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely.
I would. Yeah, Lucha Bros.
All Out was Loft's first pay-per-view, so for AEW. So
Really?
I mean,
Wow.
well, it was either All Out or the one CM Punk. Well, yeah, CM Punk debuted at All Out, right? Yeah. So
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
yeah. So that was your first pay-per-view, Loft. I mean, we already kind of discussed it ad nauseum, but you loved that show, didn't you?
That was an amazing show. That was that was one of the shows that I really like started to accept AEW. I would say.
Oh, so that was your first pay-per-view. So when did you actually start watching AEW? I'm assuming you're a newer fan to the product.
Yeah,
Technically,
few of
my
us are.
first
That was only my
show-
second.
yeah, technically my first show was when Sting debuted. And I was watching that for like 15 minutes, and I was like, oh, okay. And I turned it over.
He's talking
Yeah.
about.
That was my first like show that I saw for like a few minutes, but the first like whole pay-per-view I watched was All Out, and I watched Dynamite and Rampage from time to time as Phil implored me to do repeatedly until I finally broke, and I was like, you know what, you won't shut
You
up.
saw Red Velvet. That's why I'm playing.
I had to get you signed at some point, bro. I had to get you signed at some point.
It was that one Dynamite a few weeks ago, and it was like a great show. And I saw I love Darby and Jay Cargill, so every time they're on the show.
Listen, it's like my friend George. He's not a wrestling fan, but I said, hey, I have an idea for content. Let's get you on to watching wrestling. And I've only showed him AEW New Japan so far, but he's been loving it. And his favorite wrestler is Sting, which is fun, which is so funny to me.
You show him New Japan? What match did you show him? What match did you show him?
We were just watching a bunch of Kenny Omega matches. I haven't seen too much.
Yes.
Because the first time he watched AEW was Double or Nothing 2021, and he loved Kenny Omega versus Orange Cassidy versus Pac. And somebody convinced him that Kenny Omega in New Japan is so much better, which
it is
debatable. But I'm like, yeah, no, it's great. Let me show you. And I showed him like 5 Kenny Omega matches, and he loved every single one of them. So yeah, he's a big Kenny mark, but he's a much bigger mark of Sting.
Hey, but New Japan, you should. Did you show him Tetsu Naito versus Kenny?
I did. I showed him in the 2016 one.
Yes, that match was good. And then you should show if you did New Japan AJ Styles versus New Japan Nakamura.
Oh, yeah, that's an amazing match. I showed him Nakamura versus Kota Ibushi from Wrestle Kingdom 9. My favorite Japanese match of all time. That's a go-to match.
Oh my god, yes. Oh, hey, and back to A-Dub. What were your thoughts when you found out Jay Lethal was signed to AEW?
I did a golf clap. I'm like, yay.
Jay's here.
I mean, like, I feel like if this was 10 years ago, I'd have been like, oh, fuck yeah, Jay Lethal, like TNA prodigy, Jay Lethal. I'm like, he's been in ROH for like 7 years doing a bunch of nothing of note that I've heard of. And it's not a knock on Jay Lethal because he's a great talent, but like, have they done anything with Jay Lethal since he signed? I don't think so. So it's like, okay, well, what's the big deal? You know what I mean? He's another guy on the roster. It's like they just signed Tony Nese, and it's like, oh, yay, Tony Nese. Well, what are we gonna do with Tony Nese? And obviously, it's been like 3 weeks, so obviously can't do much. But it's like I feel like Jay Lethal was just a name for them to have. They could kind of go to when they need, a big match or something, or they want to put somebody over. But like, I don't see Jay Lethal being like top main event star in AEW. I mean, if it happens, it happens. I'm not mad at it. I support all my brothers out there, but I'm not clamoring for it, honestly.
Jay Lethal, I was kind of hyped up. I was like, it's Jay motherfucking Lethal. Let's go.
I would have been a bigger advocate for Jonathan Gresham, but I like Jay Lethal.
Here's the thing. I think Jonathan Gresham is going to be here very soon. But the thing is, I think a lot of Ring of Honor talent might be coming over here, or at least just going through the motions to try to get here to have some work until Ring of Honor is back on track. But I don't know. Tony can't sign everybody. I mean, he can, but there's so much here already.
Territory if they start picking up every Ring of Honor guy they release.
It's dangerous.
Ring of Honor,
very dangerous.
Shouldn't some Ring of Honor talent should go to Impact? I mean, Impact should.
I mean, they're going to disperse all over the wrestling industry because I don't think the future Ring of Honor is all that bright, if you ask me. So we could see them in a lot of places.
I mean, they just signed somebody earlier, and now he's going to have his first match on Dark. He's having his first match on Dark. He probably already had it because Dark started at 7. What was that match? I got to go back and watch it. Not watch it, but see what it was because I have it right here saved. What was it? No, I guess I didn't have it saved. Let me go back to AEW real quick. You guys can figure something out or talk for a second. I gotta get this up.
Right.
open my thinking cap for a second.
Here it is.
You,
yeah.
what do you think of
Josh Woods? They signed him.
Josh Woods.
Josh Wood?
Who's that? Oh,
That's a familiar name. I've heard the name Josh Woods.
Josh Woods is the
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I saw that.
yeah. So he had his match tonight debut against Sean Spears. Probably a good match. I mean, Sean Spears is a great worker, but they already signed him. So what else is to come? I mean, they're already teasing the Briscoes too. So
Briscoes.
Hey,
they're
the
teasing
Briscoes versus the Lucha Brothers. That's your match of revolution. That's your match of revolution.
No Taylor Ortiz. Aw, I'm playing.
They're teasing the
I mean,
Briscoes.
I wouldn't do Santito. I mean, I wouldn't do Santana and Ortiz until they're winning the championships. If they're not winning the championships revolution, then don't do the match.
Yeah,
Okay, respect.
that makes sense.
I wouldn't mind the Briscoes. Yeah, the Briscoes. Let's go. I'm ready. I'm ready.
The Briscoes versus the Lucha Brothers will rock. Brothers versus brothers. I mean, obviously the Lucha Bros should win that match. I don't think you should have the Briscoes come in and win on the first match. That'd be kind of ridiculous, but it's
They're
gonna be great.
stuff with FTR right now. I mean, that right there, give me that too.
Yeah. The sooner the better.
Goes to the championship right away.
The one
There
thing
you
I
go.
always wanted, but I think I kind of got it. I wanted Penta to bring Pentagon Dark to AEW. But a lot of people tell me that they ain't ready for that. But I think I saw a little bit of Pentagon Dark at AEW, I think.
Wait, they ain't ready as an AEW isn't ready, or like the people you said aren't asked are
People that told me that they ain't ready for it.
I mean, listen, Pentagon Dark was like a whole different entity in Lucha Underground. Like Pentagon Dark was like a different beast in Lucha.
Oh yeah. Oh,
If
please.
AEW ain't about to make him a main eventer, then don't even bring Pentagon Dark to AEW. That's how I see it.
Because I'm a big fan of it. I was a big fan of Pentagon Dark, especially in that death match he had in Lucha Underground.
Motherfucker was breaking arms and taking lives. If he's not
That's
doing
what I
AEW,
want. That's what I
don't
want. I want Penta to break somebody's arm. That's always every time he was in the ring, I was like, break his arm.
He just wants them to kill everybody on AEW.
Yes, just like when back when Kurt Angle was in the ring, he had the ankle lock. I'm like, rip it off.
Oh yes. Everybody who leaves AEW, instead of just disappearing, they get their arm broken by Pentagon. That's a good way to write them off.
Yes. I mean, they already killed Adam Cole, but that was on BTE, and now it's Young Bucks. I mean, they legitimately poisoned him, and then they resurrected him to come back here.
Yeah. Phil.
The crazy story. Jesus.
Hey, Phil. I'm all elite, but can we still work out that deal that I wanted to do against Cody? Can please?
No, you're not beating Cody 24/7 until you can just.
So here's what I told him. I said, "All right, Phil. Let me tell you something. I will sign with All Elite, but if I'm in the feud with Cody, let me beat him in 5 matches, and he only wins the final battle." And he goes, "No, you ain't doing that." I was like, "Come on,
work with Cody. Like you just know that for a fact. Cody's gonna have to.
Like, just let him win the one.
He's gonna have to win. And I'm all for guys getting put over and everything like that. But Cody, he just would not allow that.
I'll talk to him and be like, "Cody, what do you think? Come on, let me like 4 times, and then you win the fifth time you face again."
The 5th battle. Yeah, I don't think he would go for that. I really won't. Now, I mean, we can talk about AEW all day, and honestly, I think it's great. I think we had a great conversation about AEW, and I think there's just more conversations to be discussed.
Absolutely.
But we wouldn't be a wrestling podcast if we didn't talk about WWE. The WWE is in a very, very strange way right now. And listen, the only reason why I watch the shows is because of this. If it wasn't because of this, I wouldn't be watching the shows on a weekly basis.
I heard that from a lot of content creators, which is actually very sad.
Yes.
I watch WWE because I love professional wrestling. That's why. I don't care. Listen. I don't care how boring it can be. I don't care how bad the booking can be. Just I've been a WWE fan for 17 years, soon to be 18. I will forever have my love and hatred towards that company till the day I die. That's the one thing I'll always say about WWE. But the one thing though is I do want to be a wrestler eventually though. The one thing though is I'm not stepping foot in WWE as much as as much as I have love and hatred towards the company. I will not step foot. I'll step in All Elite though. That's the one thing though.
You love WWE, but you would never wrestle for them?
Yes, exactly.
But then you don't love them that much then.
I mean, well, I'll get to my point. I'll get to what I'll think about WWE in the future. Eventually.
It's just in a very weird situation right now. The booking is there's so much wrong with it, and then you got I don't know where to even really begin. Where were your thoughts on how WWE is doing their business as of right now, and when did you really think that it started going downhill for you? Because you don't watch it at all.
No.
When did you stop?
It was a very slow burn. Because I've been a wrestling fan since 2005. Started in 2001, but I really didn't start till 2005. So 2015, I want to say, is when I really started to fizzle out. And at the time, it was because I was really busy with school, looking into college. I was about to get my first job. I was also doing some stuff on the side with video games and my YouTube channel. So I started leading out of watching Raw every week just because of stuff going on, not because I thought it was bad necessarily. At some point, I started to think it was bad. 2016, I think Raw started to get better. SmackDown got way fucking better.
Yes.
For years, I think everyone can agree, SmackDown was a completely missable show. Like, you did not have to watch SmackDown at all for a long period of time. In 2016, when they did the brand split, it was a 180, and SmackDown was the A show. And for the first time, I actually was watching SmackDown almost every week. Raw, I was watching most of the time, but 2017 is when I felt like the quality of the show started to dip again, and that's when I stopped watching weekly. I would kind of watch here and there, but I was not watching weekly anymore. 2018 is when I stopped watching weekly, and I only started watching YouTube clips. By 2019, I was still on the whole YouTube clip thing because I was doing YouTube. People came to me to ask my thoughts and opinions, so here and there. By 2020, I stopped watching. Now, 2019, I was still watching NXT. I was a humongous fan of NXT from 2014 into 2020. 2020 rolls around. By this point, I'm not watching Raw anymore. I'm not watching SmackDown anymore. I'm about to give up on clips too. In 2020, NXT made one decision, and that one decision killed all of my love for that promotion. Do you guys want to guess what that decision was that killed all my love for NXT?
I'm scared. I have no idea what it is.
I'm scared.
Was it 2.0? Was it Vince taking over?
It was when Charlotte Flair became the NXT Women's Champion at WrestleMania 37.
Yes.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. That makes sense.
That makes sense.
I'm like, I watch NXT because I love the wrestlers and I love the storytelling and I love the way the show feels so much different than the main roster. If you start making it the main roster by having main roster wrestlers on NXT, and I didn't mind Finn Balor at the time. I didn't mind the fact that they had people coming in for Survivor Series. That's fine. But Charlotte Flair is the last person that needs to be in NXT winning championships. So once that happens, I'm out. And you're beating Rhea Ripley at that time? No. So by that time, they killed my love, and I was just invested in AEW. And ever since then, I stopped watching NXT. I watched the clips, and I watched the first episode of 2.0. But by 2021, I gave up completely. I was not watching Raw. I was not watching SmackDown. I was not watching NXT. Morally, I cannot watch WWE because of the Jamal Khashoggi incidents with Saudi Arabia, the way they released their talent. Everything about the company is fucking scummy. And I know some people are not going to like it, but I feel like if you are so deeply brainwashed and suffering from Stockholm syndrome that you're able to look past all the dirty shit this company does because you love wrestling that much, I feel like, I don't know what that says about you. I'm not trying to hammer into anybody specifically, but I feel like if you are able to look past every single thing this company does, because you love wrestling, and the wrestling on that show still fucking sucks, and the storylines still fucking suck, and everything about this show still sucks, and you hop online and you talk about how you hate Vince and how you hate Raw and how you hate SmackDown, but you still watch the shows. What does that make you exactly? Does that make you a brainless sheep?
Yeah.
So I'm not one of those people. I'm like, you know what? I know I have content to make. I know I can talk about WWE and shit on all the time, but why do I want to hurt my own mental health worrying about a fucking show that I don't like? No, fuck that shit. So yeah, no, I don't watch WWE because I respect the fact that people watch WWE because they want to make content and they want to be the value for other people who either don't like WWE or still like it. I respect that a lot. I can't do it. I just can't. I don't fucking care about WWE enough to do it. When you get to the point where you stop caring, that's when you are ready to give up, and that's when you officially stop watching. A lot of people have not gotten to that point yet where they stopped caring, and that's why they still watch.
Thing is, I care too much about this goddamn.
That's why you're still watching. You still care. You haven't got to the point where you stopped caring yet.
I can't wait too much.
I want this company to do better. I want this company to succeed. But until things start going around and until things start changing, it's not going to happen. And people are saying once Vince is out of power, is going to get better. I don't know if it is, because you still got the 3 other stooges with him that are going to take over the company, and it's not even going to be Triple H. So it's not really going to get all that much better.
And I think a lot of it for me is just a loss of hope. I've given them too many chances, and they've disappointed every single time.
And Loff, I applaud you, my man, too, because you go live every single time the show goes on TikTok, and and dude, I don't know, I don't know if this is technically in the sense of realm of where you're pretty much like mentally whenever you watch these shows, but I can slowly see like your mental state go down every single time these shows go down, and it's not your fault, but it just happens. I slowly see your mental go down.
Oh no, listen, NXT War Games happened a few weeks ago, and I did a live stream for it, and somebody commented and they were like, "You looked so disinterested the whole stream," and I'm like, "Yeah, I was disinterested the whole stream because I don't care. Yeah. I only did this for content, and that's it." And you know what? I apologize to that person. I apologized on TikTok, and I'm like, you know what, guys? That's my bad. I made bad content because I decided I want to watch WWE, even though I don't fucking like this company anymore. So you know what? My bad won't happen again. So that's just where we're at right now.
I was going to tell you.
I respect that for a specific reason.
I respect everything he just said.
I respect that for a specific reason, because I did a poll when actually I did it a few months ago when Raw had like one really bad show. I think it was the show when Nikki Ash cashed in the Money in the Bank, and I lost it on live because I think that when she cashed it, I hated that. I made a poll. I'm like, yo, y'all want me to watch this show? Want me to live stream this show? I'll do it, but you have to let me know right now, and I'll do it. Does it give me a headache every week and make me want to punch everything in this house? Yes. But if you want me to do it, I'll do it. You know what I'm saying? I didn't want to feel like watching NXT tonight. I was working late, so I couldn't even do that stuff. But I love SmackDown, so SmackDown.
Oh shit, NXT is on.
Yeah,
it's Tuesday. NXT's on. I almost forgot.
I don't even care. Like, it's just like only show I really care about is SmackDown for the most part. But it's just like I told him, I was like, you want me to watch Raw? I'll make this poll. Most people want me to watch Raw. Then I'll do it. You know what I'm saying? If they are invested in watching me, I can't show the screen obviously, but if they are invested in watching me watch the show with them, I'm cool. I'll do it. It's whatever. But
and I think that's a lot of the trap that us content creators fall into is that, if the people want it, I got to give it to them. And I try to remind people as much as I can that, like, listen, your mental is very important. If you do not like what you're watching, the views are gonna deplete. Yes, they may go away because people only want to see cover one thing, but trust me, there are so much other things out there to cover that you will make views along the way watching something else. And when I started reviewing AEW more, my views started going up. They were going down for a while when I stopped talking about WWE, but they went right back up. It took a while. It's not overnight. Everybody in here knows that you don't blow up overnight unless you just fucking get lucky one day. It happens. There's peaks and valleys, but there's so much other stuff to watch out there.
And dude, the only reason why I started having you watch, I didn't start having you watch. I didn't pressure anybody, and I want to make that clear. I didn't want to pressure anybody into watching AEW. But then once I started saying, dude, listen, I know it's not WWE, but there are some things here, and there are some people here that I feel you would incredibly enjoy. And at that time, you found out about Darby. Yeah, I mean, you found out as soon as Jade got in here, and I mean, Jade's your absolute crush right now. Like, like, like the only reason why I said, hey, you might want to give this company a chance is because I saw what was happening to you in your lives, and I'm like, this guy is really disinterested. And I feel like he's losing his love of professional wrestling when professional wrestling in 2021 could be the best thing for you. And
yeah,
WWE is just that, you know.
That's why I
even want to pressure you though, and I hope you didn't feel that way.
No, even though that with AEW there's still that disconnect there because it doesn't feel the way it did when I first watched WWE or the way it did when I first started watching TNA. Because I tell you all the time, I was more into TNA for a long period of time. For like I want to say a 5-year span, I was way more into TNA than I was WWE, especially when Jeff left and then went to TNA. But in the aspect of just me getting more into AEW, I had to let myself accept that this isn't going to be what WWE is. And I think that's what was holding me back for so long. I was trying to make it WWE, and my brain was just like, it's not, you know, and it was hard for me to grasp. But like, as much as I wanted to fight it, I can't ignore great wrestling, and like watching like Brian and Kenny have that amazing match. It was just like, yeah, I am willing to like watch this if they continuously do that, you know.
And I'm happy you did.
They haven't done anything that disappointed me, and Raw disappoints me every Monday. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like they haven't done anything that disappointed me, and I see like people like I've been watching like Kiera Hogan. I've been watching her in Impact and NWA, and then I see she gets like on some. She's like she wrestles on Dark sometimes, but like seeing her on the show, it's like, all right, now I'm trusting this a little bit more because now there's some of my favorite wrestlers going over here, and as much as I don't like them being kind of top heavy with them just signing every free agent at the same time, I can't hate on it because they're trying to make a better wrestling show, and I always will respect that if I like it or not. You feel me? So that's just. It was a bad one.
No, I respect that. I respect the hell out of that.
So, I was going to ask you. You were a wrestling fan. You were a WWE fan around 2005. What brand did you enjoy the most, Raw or SmackDown? As a kid?
In what year?
In 2000, during Ruthless time.
During the Ruthless Aggression, I think I primarily watched SmackDown for the very beginning of my time as a wrestling fan. I watched SmackDown more often than I watched Raw. I didn't really start watching Raw more often until like 2010, and that was around the time when SmackDown became the missable show. Like you could miss SmackDown and nothing happens. That's when the rosters became integrated. That's when SmackDown became the nothing show. For like 5 years.
I was SmackDown. Of course, you see my profile, Eddie. Of course, that's the reason why SmackDown.
Baby.
Yes, sir. Anyway, yeah, SmackDown. I was SmackDown, but I was also Raw. Reason why I was Raw was because John Cena, of course. John Cena was the man. Kurt Angle was on there. Phil's boy Shawn Michaels was there. RVD was there. Kane was there. You know, all people on Raw were legit, and then you had DX, of course, and I enjoyed every single bit of it on Raw. I enjoyed everything on SmackDown too, but during that time, it was probably the best times of my life, honestly. But yeah, SmackDown, I'm right there with you. SmackDown was the one I rocked with.
No, Raw had a ton of great shit, and I'm not discounting that at all. I just feel like SmackDown was. It had a lot more content for me to grasp onto at that time, especially around 2008 when both brands were fucking hot. 2008, I still consider that one of the best years in wrestling. But SmackDown, when they had the Edge and Undertaker feud that went on for a span of a year, really, that carried SmackDown in 2008.
Oh yeah,
the Edge and Undertaker feud. it was can't miss. Then Jeff Hardy and CM Punk in 2009, like SmackDown had like some fucking amazing.
Oh, you spitting?
Of course, Raw had Shawn Michaels and Chris Jericho. Raw also had John Cena and like everybody else on the goddamn roster. But like, I felt like there was so much to grasp in that year. But once you got into 2010 and then the Nexus came in and then they stopped it, and that's when SmackDown just fell off the margin big time. Right, they didn't come back into being a big deal until the brand.
You ain't lying, actually, because I'm actually rewatching the Nexus storyline right now in 2010, and every time I go to watch the SmackDown, nothing happens to where
I'm trying to tell you, once Nexus came in, SmackDown just fell off the map completely.
So, of course, you remember this when Randy Orton and John Cena had to face the entire, and I mean entire Raw roster.
I watched that Raw live. I remember.
Wait, you were there too? Like,
no, I watched it live. I wasn't there.
Oh, I was gonna say, I was like, wait, you were there? I was like, wow.
I was there for the 2008 Slammies, but that was it.
Oh wow.
That was an insane time when he just had to face the entire freaking roster. Like, what are we even doing here? But
what were your thoughts? Well, I was gonna say, what were your thoughts when Jeff Hardy did this one-time bomb off of the Tron on Randy Orton? I thought he was dead.
Oh, dude, that's like one of the greatest moments. Like,
yeah,
WWE. I mean, Jeff Hardy doing just about anything is one of the greatest moments in WWE. But like, okay, first of all, Jeff Hardy in 2008 was far beyond pro wrestling. Jeff Hardy in 2008 was just people who didn't even watch fucking pro wrestling knew who Jeff Hardy was in 2008 and 2009.
Love this song, yeah.
Jeff Hardy was a whole different beast in that year. I mean, I see the dude with the profile picture in the corner. Jeff, it's the 13-year anniversary of Jeff Hardy winning the WWE Championship. Actually,
you know this already, man. That's my guy.
Are you a Jeff Hardy fan for some reason? I was gonna know. Were you a Jeff Hardy fan?
Is anybody in the chat not a Jeff Hardy?
Anybody not a Jeff Hardy?
Yeah. You know.
I mean, come on.
If he is not a Jeff Hardy fan, you can get out right now.
Not a diehard Hardy fan, but I was riding with Jeff.
I mean, I don't know if there was too many people I know that preferred Matt over Jeff growing up. So,
I liked both, but Jeff, yeah,
everybody liked both.
Someone in OTB was trying. I don't remember. Was it 1C? I don't remember. Someone. No, it can't be 1C. Someone was trying to say that it was Matt over Jeff. I was like,
somebody did say that here on this podcast.
I was like, you are tweaking.
I forget who. I really do forget who. But yeah, they were tweaking that day. But yeah, Jeff.
Oh, during back, I was saying more thing about Ruthless, Matt and Edge. At that time, what were you thinking?
Well, at that time, I don't think I was watching. I got banned around that time.
Boom!
I got banned around that time, but Matt and Edge was crazy. That was a crazy feud.
Well, what did you think when you look back at it when you were
as an adult? I think it's crazy that it eked into real life where Matt was his leader was cheating on Matt with Edge, and then they still feuded. I thought that was. I mean, I don't even know how you managed to do that. Matt has some balls. The fact that Edge was able to trust Matt in the ring, they were able to trust each other.
Facts.
With that going on, is just honestly incredible professionalism, but it's still crazy.
Especially when that feud. I mean, especially when they had their match at SummerSlam, like right when I think it was like it was kind of they were starting the match a little bit. Edge walks towards Matt and Matt stiffs him with a actual punch to the face. I was like, oh shoot, this is a legit fight. Like they still not done. They still this feud still not over. Like, and then the one thing I will never forget though I watched was when Matt Hardy did the side effect off the stage to Edge.
I was just about to say that. That was the peak of the feud.
I will never forget that. And then at that time I really did thought Jeff. I was getting behind it. I really thought Jeff was going to come back and avenge Matt. At that time.
Oh yeah, that was when Jeff I think was doing a little bit in TNA. I think Jeff at that time was TNA, and then he was doing a little bit in New Japan too.
He was in New Japan. I didn't know that. I didn't know.
Yeah, no, Jeff was in New Japan for like a hot stint. Go watch Wrestle Kingdom 8. Jeff Hardy faced Tetsuya Naito. It was a bad match, but it happened.
Oh, wasn't that great? Okay.
No, Jeff Hardy was
happened.
Nah, that match is bad. Jeff Hardy was not in the right state of mind to be doing that match.
I was saying Jeff Hardy. What do you think of Jeff Hardy when he was in TNA? Was he wild? Would you thought he was more wild than he was in 2000?
What year?
When he was arriving, when he came back.
Was that like 2007? No. Jeff Hardy arrived in TNA first, like 2005, and I think he came back in like 2011.
Was it 10? Was it 10 or 9? Lock.
It was. I think he got released
For what,
in around
TNA?
10, so it was either 2010 or 2011.
Yeah, it was like 2010.
TNA.
2010. Oh, I mean, yeah. I mean,
20,
first of
like
all,
late, it was like
2010
late 2010. Because 2010 he was still in WWE a little bit too.
Well,
No.
2010 was peak TNA. So yeah, Jeff Hardy coming to TNA at the time was the best thing for them. And Jeff Hardy was fucking awesome, man.
Yeah.
Like, Jeff Hardy in TNA was also on one. I mean, he was never as great as he was in 2008, but he was definitely on one in TNA at the time too. And him and Willow Hardy in 2012.
I love Willow. I loved Willow. Did you like the Willow character?
I did. I mean, I didn't watch TNA Impact like that after 2012, but I did like the Willow character.
TNA. Do you have a favorite TNA wrestler? Is it Jeff or do you have anybody?
I mean, he's talking TNA Impact.
TNA in general.
Well, I mean, if we're going, no one's ever asked me that question because I didn't watch TNA. I mean, I did watch TNA like that. Ooh. Favorite TNA Impact wrestler. I feel like I would probably want to say it was Samoa Joe.
Ooh, good pick. Good pick.
I feel like because I lost my mind every time I heard Nation of Domination. No, Nation of
Domination.
Oh no, not Nation of Domination. Oh fuck.
Destruction.
Nation of Violence.
Violence.
That's it.
Yeah, that theme song went hard. Joe came out there, he kicked ass. Him and Kurt Angle.
Yes. Kurt Angle. Yes, that's my favorite TNA.
If I had to name a third, Awesome Kong.
Yeah, if we're talking female, yes, either Awesome.
Let's not count it out. Before there was the WWE Women's Evolution, there was the fucking Knockouts division. People like the Knockouts division, but in 2007 with Gail Kim and Awesome Kong, they were kicking fucking ass back then, bro. People like to sleep on that all the time.
Yeah,
not over here though. Not over here.
Say, no, not over here. No, we give respect when it's due.
Awesome
the
Kong.
Knockouts division was better than the Divas division for a long period. It might have been for the whole Divas versus
it always was. It always was.
Not only that,
I'm watching that Divas vision back, and it is.
What made it better was they had Mickie James on the roster, which made it 10 times more better. Though
Madison Rain, Velvet Sky, like come on.
Yeah, the beautiful people. Oh my god,
people can't miss TV, brother. Let the pigeons loose.
Oh,
it was appointment television.
Forget my boy Monster Bet.
Listen, who remembers the feud with Winter and Angelina Love?
Oh my! I hated that. I hated that.
No, Phil. Remember we were on call with Lewis and we were talking about Winter and freaking Angelina Love, and she was.
I legitimately had no idea who Winter even.
I was so invested in that storyline, bro. That was can't miss TNA for me.
No. When we were all in that call, I mean, I think everybody can attest to this except you, Sue, but like I'll get you involved in this. When everybody was talking about Winter, I'm like, who? I never even knew who the fuck Winter was.
I was like, what?
Theme songs in TNA history, bro.
Well, yeah, no, but then everybody started pointing me with matches to her and all that kind of stuff, and then like I saw like her face and everything. I'm like,
Katie.
I recognize her now.
Yeah.
I'm like, I recognize her now, but I was like,
and her brother Paul. That's
yeah. But I was like, I don't know who this is. You guys are gonna have to point me matches to her, and then once they did, I'm like, yeah, all right, yeah, now I know who she is. But I'm like, I completely forgot about that stint, I guess.
I mean, it's forgettable. I could definitely understand how you could have forgot about that. But no, Winter and Angelina Love had like a unmissable storyline in my opinion. I don't know why I was so attracted to it.
Thing they showed me first. Like,
and then of course there was Tara who came in there and just kissed every single woman she came into contact with, and Teenage Mutant was just all for it.
I like Tara. Tara was pretty good too. And then like I said, you can't forget my boy Monster Abyss. Come on.
Abyss, yeah, bro.
Facts.
Yeah, dude.
Abyss
Monster's
is crazy.
Monsters Ball match.
Abyss and Daphne, they had
Daphne. May she rest.
Yeah, rest in
May
peace.
she rest in
Daphne.
peace. I remember Abyss had a barbed wire match with Sabu in 2007. That match was intense. Like they had blood. There was blood all over the. Not I wouldn't say all over the ring, but it was pretty brutal.
And we got to give a shout out to one of our brothers here of OTB. Nate is in the chat, y'all.
Woo! Nate the Great.
Hey,
He also said we all can't just forget about TNA AJ Styles over here.
Oh, of course not.
of course.
Of course not.
Amazing.
TNA AJ was great, and I mean, there's really no disputing that.
What about TNA Bobby Roode?
TNA Bobby. First of all, I love
beer money, baby.
Beer
Beer
Money! All right, were you a fan of Motor City Machine Guns?
Fuck yes.
Yes!
Fuck. Now the no. The real question is, which theme song were you a fan of?
Ooh.
They had like 5-6 different Motor City.
Ooh.
The question is, what theme song were you a fan of? What was your favorite one? Mine was Party with the Motor City, the second one.
I'm right there with you. I'm right there with you.
I might actually have to be there too. Oh God, jeez. Okay. But yeah.
On a party with the Motor City. Now I want to see the song go.
And then there was a who else would I remember? Yeah, I remember Beer Money. All right, how about this? Homicide Hernandez.
LAX. The
LAX, the original.
Oh yeah, Homicide Hernandez, Hector Guerrero,
Hector.
Rosita Sarita. You can't fuck with that faction.
Not to go back to Grand Slam for a second, but what were your thoughts when freaking Homicide showed up at the end of it all?
Well, I honestly wasn't.
Did
in the
you
arena when
leave?
that happened. I left.
You left?
I left during the
no,
main event because
dude.
I wanted to beat traffic. So no, I didn't do it.
Oh, you left. We stayed. My friend and I stayed. It was fucking fantastic, that match at the end of it.
Oh,
all.
I remember hearing a humongous pop as I was leaving the arena. I'm like, who the hell was that? And then I checked it. I'm like, oh, fucking Miss Homicide.
Homicide showed up. I was like, holy crap. But yeah.
Homicide showed up to AW, and I was saying, "Where's Hernandez?" I was like, "Come on!" I was like, "Come on."
That would have
That was
been dope.
the Homicide showing
Hernandez
up.
is doing these days. I remember he showed up in Lucha Underground a couple times, but
All right, Bash. I just heard you have to head out for head out. So thank you for joining us here.
It's nice
Bash,
meeting
you good
bud.
people, man.
It was nice
Love
meeting you,
you.
man. You incredible content, incredible person.
Yeah, I'll be sure to check yours out too. All your
follow
links are
him.
in the description.
All the
right?
links are
Yeah,
down
I'll
there.
check you guys out.
Yeah,
I'll catch y'all boys. Have a good night, y'all.
later, bro.
You be easy, man.
All right. We talked about TNA. How about the Attitude Era? Who did you rock with in the Attitude Era?
I mean, everybody.
Everybody? All right. No. Main question is Rock or Austin?
The Rock.
What? Oh, come on.
Yeah. You're
Dwayne.
I mean, if we're talking characters, there's no wrong answer. But The Rock was better in the ring, so by that alone, I gotta go with The Rock.
Me, it's Austin. I rock with Austin. I mean, I love The Rock, but it's Austin for me. All right.
They also I had cultural appeal with The Rock. I really didn't have that cultural connection with Stone Cold, so that's also why I leaned more towards The Rock.
Every time, oh come on, we can't. All right, everybody loved doing the stunner as a kid. Come on now. Oh,
I'm not saying I don't like Stone Cold. If you ask me Stone Cold or The Rock, I'm going to say The Rock.
The Rock. I love The Rock.
I love Stone Cold though. I really do.
All right,
you're running joke over here with The Rock. You gotta say his name, right? Dwayne.
Oh, yeah, you mean Rock the Dwayne Johnson? Yeah,
You're right.
Dwayne Johnson, yeah.
Amazing.
Dwayne.
Wait, when you were watching, what were your thoughts when he came back in 2011, The Rock?
Oh, dude, it was fucking. Oh, okay. So when The Rock came back in 2011, everybody lost their goddamn mind because no one ever thought The Rock was coming back. You know, I was just on the moon about it because it's The Rock. Growing up, the Attitude Era was when I was born, so obviously I didn't live through it. I was fucking 1, 2, and 3. So I grew up on. Oh, actually, I have it. Give me 1 second.
Oh no, he's getting up to show
I
something.
grew up watching a lot of home videos, and I own this set right here.
Oh
Raw's
yes,
14th anniversary.
one has Cena, Taker. It's
And on this
Where
set,
did you get
it has so much. And I used to watch this number 1 and this number 2 all the time. I watched so much Attitude Era stuff with The Rock and Stone Cold and Vince McMahon. So
Undertaker.
I lived through a lot of it, even though I didn't live through it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, no, I mean, you definitely do your research as a pro wrestling fan. If you're a pro wrestling fan, you do your research no matter what kind of era you either grew up in or you just want to figure out some good professional wrestling.
The one thing
I'm a firm believer that when you're talking about The Rock and Stone Cold, there's really no wrong answer. It's a subjective thing.
Exactly.
There's no wrong answer.
The Rock,
you like one more than the other, but they're both goats.
Very talented people.
They're both great. They're both great. And Austin, I was saying, I knew who The Rock and Austin were. The reason why I knew who The Rock was because of movies before I knew he was a wrestler. Sorry.
Really?
Yes. Wow. Because I was born in 2000, of course. The reason how I knew The Rock was because he was in The Scorpion King. I'm so sorry. But
no, listen, you're probably the first person I've ever met who knew The Rock as a movie star before the wrestler. So that's actually very interesting.
Because I was like, who's The Rock? And then my dad had to show me who he was, and I was like, oh, he was a wrestler. I was like, oh, sweet, that's pretty cool. I was like, so he knew who The Undertaker was and everything. They're like, yeah. I was like, oh, sweet. And I was like, he knew who Triple H was. He knew who Austin was. I knew who Stone Cold was because because my dad was the one that kind of got me into wrestling, of course. He told me who Austin was. He did the whole beer thing with the 2 cans of beer and bash it and drink it. And I was like, what is he doing?
Well, see, like there's been thousands of wrestlers in the pro wrestling industry, but really only 15 or 20 of them transcend professional wrestling, and The Rock and Stone Cold are one of them, or 2 of them. So,
And the thing is, Rock was not here for very long. He really wasn't. Yet he is. I mean, and yet he is one of he is one of the most talked about professional wrestlers in all of business. So, I mean, even for the short stint that he had, and he still had an amazing, legendary career, and nobody can really talk him down from that.
Absolutely.
Yep. Do you have a favorite Rock promo?
My favorite Rock promo?
Yes.
I mean,
personal favorite?
Yeah.
The Rock concert.
Which one?
Rock. Oh. I think the one in 2003.
Ooh, the
2003 Rock concert.
He was in Cleveland. I'm in Ohio right now.
Also, a very slept on one was Raw's 20th anniversary when he sung to Vicky Guerrero.
Yes,
one of my top 5 all-time favorite Raw moments.
That's kind of the one I was hoping that you were going to say.
No, that's my number 2. My number 2 is the Rock and Vicky.
Of?
My number 1 is the 2003 Rock concert.
Oh no, you know what I was thinking? I was thinking the top of my head was the one that he did on Cena.
The one, okay, that's definitely like top 5, top 10, but like the Vicky,
not nowhere near up 2003. I agree with you, almost 100%. Favorite Rock promo would have to be when he was making fun of every competitor that he was supposed to face at Hell in a Cell. He made fun of Kurt Angle, Austin, Taker, Triple H. He's gonna beat the game in the middle of the ring.
And the thing is, guys, I'm in Connecticut. I'm from Connecticut. That's not just a Triple H thing. A lot of people do that here.
Wait. They actually sound like that in Connecticut for real?
A lot of people do that here, and I'm not even freaking exaggerating. Like, some people just do the and yeah, sure, they might do it because of Triple H, but there are some people that just do it.
So pretty much
there definitely are.
So pretty much he's a hero. Pretty much Triple H is a Connecticut hero, I'm believing.
I mean, there are definitely some people that just do it because of Triple H and just how he does things. But I wouldn't be shocked if people just spoke like that on a daily basis. And I've even met some people too. So it's not just a Triple H thing.
Mm-hmm. All right. How about this one? I need your top. Not top 10. Top 5 personal favorites.
My personal favorite wrestlers?
Yes. Top 5. All time.
All time. Okay, easy. Number 5, Batista. Number 4, Triple H. Number 5, Batista or 4, Triple H? Yeah, 5, Batista, 4, Triple H, 3, Shawn Michaels, 2, Chris Jericho, 1, CM Punk.
Oh wow, pretty valid of you. Mine, of course, it's Eddie Guerrero, of course. Personal favorites, by the way.
We started from 5 or 1?
5. No, 5. Okay, we'll do 5.
Okay.
5, Undertaker.
Okay.
4, Rey Mysterio. 3,
Mhm.
John Cena. 2, Kurt Angle. And 1, of course, my boy, Eddie Guerrero.
That's a valid top 5. I feel like everybody in that top 5, except for maybe Rey Mysterio, would be in my top 15 or top 10.
Okay, respect. I want to put Rey just because Rey was also one of my favorites. It was either put Rey Mysterio on that list, or it was either Rey Mysterio or Rob Van Dam. I loved RVD.
Phil, what's your top 5?
Okay.
Oh boy.
So here it is. I got the Undertaker.
You started from 5, right?
Yeah, starting from 5. I got the Undertaker. I got who was it? God dang it! I hate being put on the spot like this, but Undertaker would be it was definitely in my mind Chris Jericho at number 4, Cena at number 3, Kurt Angle number 2, and then Shawn Michaels number 1. I mean, you guys knew the Shawn Michaels thing from the very jump.
Of course.
The thing is, when it comes to favorite pro wrestlers of all time, it either changes like week to week basis because it just depends on who you talk to, or it's just the landscape of professional wrestling when you came in from there. I feel like when you came from watching wrestling, at the time you start, that's kind of where your top 5 of all time kind of start, and then once you figure out your things, then you.
And like we talked about earlier in the podcast, like for 15 years, my number 1 was Chris Jericho, and it didn't change until recently.
Yeah.
So
mine's Eddie Guerrero the whole time.
The area you start growing up in, that's pretty much where your top 5 lies, and then once you start doing your research, then you really try to narrow it down.
I love Kurt. Go ahead.
Jeff is my favorite because like I was watching around 2007.
Come on, you can't go wrong without doing Jeff Hardy's little dance. Come on now.
Man.
And Eddie changed the game for wrestling for me. That's why he will forever be number 1. Nobody's gonna take his place. Not Kurt Angle. John Cena can, but I just I want.
I go back and watch the Shawn Michaels Undertaker matches yearly. I do it yearly because that's how damn good I love not only those matches, but just how much I love Shawn Michaels.
Back and forth.
That's actually a great question. I could ask to all of you guys. So for me, it's Johnny Gargano versus Durande Cien Almas, but it doesn't have to be your all-time favorite.
Current.
But what match have you watched the most amount of times?
The most amount of times.
What is your most watched match?
If it's not Shawn Undertaker, Sorry about that. We should have some kind of order. Go ahead, Waffle.
Oh, you're right. Damn. Wait. Debut rematch or just wrestling?
All time? What is your most watched match?
Oh damn.
Doesn't have to be your favorite, but the match you watched the most amount of times.
Don't go before me. I gotta think. Don't go before me. I gotta think now.
All right. Of all match I've watched a lot, I wouldn't say all times, but I would watch all the time, would have to be Shawn Michaels and Kurt Angle at WrestleMania 21. I would watch that frequently.
Okay.
If it's not Shawn Michaels Undertaker 25, it would have to be Adam Cole, Johnny Gargano at that takeover. Takeover
New York?
That New York probably. Well, when Johnny
25.
When Johnny won the title.
That's New York.
That's New York.
Yes.
I got it.
If I have to choose something from
I love that takeover. That card was fantastic from the beginning, from the ending. I love that. I love that takeover. Go ahead.
Freaking versus Kurt Angle, TNA Genesis 2010.
Ooh.
Okay, that's a valid one. That's a valid one.
Yeah.
And like I already said, Johnny Gargano versus Brahma Almas. I've watched that match nearly 10 times almost. I never get tired of it.
Is that the best match in NXT history to you?
Yes. Without question.
I never get.
For
Also,
me, I named for mine.
another one I can't get tired of. The end of an era. Undertaker, Triple H, Hell in a Cell. I can't get enough of that.
Yo, yeah, that was a great one. Another question.
Okay.
Rate Undertaker matches from 25 to 28.
25 to 28?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, of
From
course.
least to best.
From
Give
least
them
to
a good
best.
conversation
Least
piece.
the best. Okay.
All right, 27 was the least, of course. In my personal, because I literally thought Hell in a Cell was way better than 27. So it was that. So 27. I'm gonna put Undertaker and Shawn Michaels streak versus career at 3. I'm sorry, Phil. I'm sorry. I have to put 25. I have to not 25. Put End of an Era at number 2, and then I would put 25. 25 Shawn and Taker. Number 1, of course, always. Nothing will top that. It's a toss up for me between End of an Era and that WrestleMania 25 match for sure.
Well, if you got it, because I gotta think about this real quick.
Wait, what matches are we ranking?
Undertaker's
matches from 25 to 28.
Oh wow.
So both Shawn Michaels Undertaker matches and both Shawn Michaels Undertaker matches and both Triple H Undertaker matches from WrestleMania.
Oh, that's easier.
I think 26 was the best one. Then 25.
Please at the end, please.
Oh my god, yeah. The last two is hard. It's like the Hell in a Cell match was awesome. I can't even. Oh god, oh god, oh man. 26, 20, 28, 27, then 25.
Ooh.
I don't even know if I believe that 100%.
I know you're still thinking. So for me, I would say least favorite, which they're all great, but least favorite, I would say I don't have as much of attachment to 26. So I would say 26. I would go 27. Now, the reason why I have more of an attachment to 27 is because that was the first WrestleMania I ever seen live. Like, not in person, but like I watched in real time. That was the first WrestleMania. So I feel like I have an attachment to that match more when I do 26. So I think that was my number 3. Number 2, number 1, that's where it gets very tricky. I would go End of an Era, Hell in a Cell, and then I would go 25 is the best one.
I think that's probably where I have to go. I think WrestleMania 25 is number 1 for me. Then it would have to be Hell in a Cell, End of an Era. Then it would have to be 20.
I said 27 is 3. So are you switching 27, 26?
27 is. I didn't really. I liked 20. I liked WrestleMania 26 with Shawn and Undertaker, but 25 to me was just better. So I'd have to go in that exact same order you did, probably.
To be honest, that match at WrestleMania 27 was probably the only match I cared about in that WrestleMania card. I
think most people will agree with you.
Yeah,
that's the only match I cared about. So if that match was not on that card, then that WrestleMania would have been boring.
Well, because that entire WrestleMania was built around The Rock,
right?
What is he going to do?
Right.
Not more so the Miz versus John Cena, because nobody gave a fuck about the Miz versus John Cena. People just cared about The Rock. So
they cared about The Rock, and then that's it. Since we're talking about Taker, where were you and what was your reaction when you found out the streak was broken?
So, for most of my life, I did not see pay-per-views. My family could not afford them. I did not actually start watching pay-per-views in real time until 2015. So I did not actually watch WrestleMania live. What I used to do when I was younger is I used to go to nodq.com and read the live reports as the show was happening.
Right.
And that's the only way I knew of pay-per-views of what happened. So for a lot of my wrestling fandom, a lot of these pay-per-views are either blurs or I didn't see them. WrestleMania 30, I didn't see happen in real time. I remember I was in my bed. I was reading it, and I'm like, I had in my head, Undertaker's beating Brock Lesnar. And I remember scrolling down and seeing that Brock Lesnar won. And I was like,
that has to be
there's no way this is real.
That's
I refreshed the page like 7 times. And I'm like, did Brock beat the Undertaker? I didn't see it happen in real time, so I couldn't have this dramatic. But I'm just like, wait a minute, but Brock won?
Did you have any friends?
I called my friend, and he couldn't watch it either because he can't afford it. But he's like, yo, I'm on WWE.com. Brock is being like, no. I was losing my mind. I remember telling my dad, like, Dad, Brock beat the Undertaker. He's like, huh?
Yeah.
And like everybody was a shock. Like everybody was a shock, bro. Nobody actually believed that happened until the night after.
I was gonna say, did you have any friends that watched WrestleMania?
I had one who watched wrestling, but I did not have a lot of friends who watched wrestling. Especially like 2014, I was in high school. I had one friend who watched wrestling. Nobody else watched wrestling.
Yeah, I feel you. I had no friends that they did, but then they grew out of it because it was too PG, and I kind of understand their point of it, and I was like, yeah, I'm still watching it. You guys have fun. yeah. They're like, we're gonna go shoot. We're gonna go play laser tag. Like, yeah, have fun. I'm gonna go watch SmackDown. I'm gonna go watch Rey Mysterio freaking beat Edge and beat the Clock Challenge and win the World Heavyweight Champion or something.
Oh yeah.
WrestleMania 30, I believe, was the first pay-per-view for the WWE Network at the time.
Yes,
it was.
Yeah. Correct.
That was the first pay-per-view. I legitimately. Now it's very strange because at some points during the years prior to the WWE Network, I got either invited over to friends' houses or I pretty much just begged my parents, "Hey, we gotta watch this pay. Like, I gotta get this pay-per-view, please." Like, I know it's
never caved.
And they really never caved either. Until one time, it was. Well, it was the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view where it was Kane and John Cena in that ambulance match. That was the one time my parents caved, because I completely begged them for like the entire month during that pay-per-view was happening. And then they're like, fine, we'll just do it that one time. If you like it, maybe we'll think about that WrestleMania afterwards. But we're not doing this. We're not doing this every month, so keep trying.
So keep trying.
So yeah, we did that one pay-per-view. I enjoyed the hell out of it, but yeah, they're like, no, we can't afford this. So until actually something comes out or something like that, then we'll figure it out. And then the WWE Network came around, and they're like, Phil, if you really want this WWE Network, you can have it. And I'm like, all right.
What?
Oh, do you remember the promotion for the WWE Network? These motherfuckers would not shut the fuck up for like 2 years.
WrestleMania 30 was the first real pay-per-view I got to watch.
What made it more worse? I made it more worse and thought it was very hilarious and a little bit that I hate the man with the passion. And as a human being, Hulk Hogan had a birthday celebration or whatever the heck, and it had the $9.99 candles right on the cake. I was like, oh my God.
I remember there was an episode of Raw where JBL was on commentary and this motherfucker out of his ass put on a $9.99 sign. And then he's like, you fucking idiot, how dare you pay $59.99 for a pay-per-view? You can pay $9.99 for it. I'm like, I fucking get it. I'm broke. I can't even do $9.99. What do y'all want from me?
And then it's like, oh yeah, well this match was brought to you by $9.99. No, shut up.
Show me wrestling. I don't need to know.
They shoved it down your throat for 2 years.
But the thing is, now everybody knows $9.99. You can't deny it. You don't know the price tag of $9.99 anymore. I mean, you can't deny it because now it's all in the back of our heads.
I miss the network, by the way, but not the $9.99 commercial. But like, I miss the network.
I think we all. I think everybody does. Universally,
Fuck Peacock.
Fuck Peacock.
Peacock is getting better.
Yeah, WWE now for a cool $1 billion, and look what you got.
Exactly. I only have Peacock because, like, every once in a blue moon, I might have to go and watch something for like a video, and I'm like, all right, well, I kind of need Peacock. I'm gonna keep it for the Royal Rumble because habitually I watch the Rumble, but even this year coming up, like, I'm not even excited for it. Like, I'm like, do I want to watch the Rumble? You know what I mean? Oh, good question. Do any of you have early Rumble picks? I got to pick your brain on this because I don't watch WWE enough.
Rumble picks.
If you would have asked me months ago, I would have said Keith Lee, but he got released, so I can't even say that anymore.
It wouldn't surprise me if he doesn't beat him at day one. Brock Lesnar. It wouldn't surprise me not one bit if he wins the Royal Rumble. And either if it's not him, I want Finn Balor. I want Finn Balor to win. The man. I've been seeing what they've been doing with him on Raw. I was like, do I really think Finn's gonna win? I don't know. To be honest, it's either Brock or Finn for me still, or AJ Styles, please.
Man.
And if we're going women,
yeah, go ahead, go do women.
If we're going women, Shayna Baszler or Liv Morgan.
Okay.
What you got left?
Finn Balor. I'm gonna say Finn Balor or I might go with Saul and say Brock because
it wouldn't surprise.
It depends on if Brock wins the day one. If he doesn't win the day one, then he might win the Rumble. Have another match, unfortunately, but I would love Finn to win.
Hey, watch! John Cena will be one of the surprise entrants in the Rumble. Watch.
Hey, if Cena comes out, then my pick immediately goes to Cena.
He says Johnny's winning the Rumble. He's gonna face Roman again.
I do want to really sleeping on Drew McIntyre. You guys are really sleeping on Drew.
You want Drew to win it? I know you don't want it, but you think Drew's gonna win again?
First of all, I would never want that. Second of all, with everything going on right now, it's either the top three I got right now are Drew, Brock, and
Finn.
And listen, I'd love it if Finn won the Rumble, but the thing is, with the way they're using him right now, it's not happening. I mean, he lost to the Dirty Dogs last week on Monday Night Raw. Last night on Monday Night Raw, it's not looking good for him. And like you said, Soup, I would have picked Keith Lee, but that can't happen anymore. Exactly. So I feel like it's either going to be one of the losers of day one in that main event, or it could be Drew McIntyre, and that's just one of the clean facts here. When it comes to the WWE Championship picture, we legitimately have no idea what the hell is going on with that. With day one being a fatal four-way, I highly doubt that it's going to be Big E walking out with that championship. And then Universal Championship, that's going to be strapped on Roman for God knows how long. So, it's insane. But
I was saying, do you have a favorite Royal Rumble winner?
Say that again?
Do you have a favorite Royal Rumble winner who actually won a title at WrestleMania?
Yes, Nate. T-Bar is winning the Rumble this year. Yep.
Well, do I have a favorite to win the Rumble, or do I have a favorite Rumble winner? Is what you're asking?
Favorite Rumble winner, and he won the title at Mania.
And he won the title at Mania? Well, no, I got to think about it because not too many of them actually win the title at Mania. 20. You know, off the top of my head, I really want to say 2018. Right? Who won 2018? Was that 2019? 2019 when Seth won.
Oh, when Seth won?
I was there in person, so I have a bias towards it.
Oh, you know, it works.
Seth.
Now, if we talking like all time, probably Drew in 2020.
Okay. Drew in 2020 was so like that. That was everything.
I didn't like the Rumble on first viewing, but watching it back 3 times, like it was such a great Rumble. A great Rumble.
My favorite competitor in the Rumble was Kane when I was growing up.
Wait. Oh, I thought you meant 2020. I'm like, what the fuck, Kane?
No.
What are you talking about?
I was saying when Kane was in the Royal Rumble, he was going mad nuts in the Royal
Rumble. Oh, you talking about 2001? Yeah.
That man was going. Yeah, that man was going crazy, bro. But if we're talking all times, I have to say when Undertaker won in 2007.
Okay.
Undertaker and Shawn Michaels were the last competitors. Fun fact. But that was another thing too.
I can mess with that.
The women's Rumble this year is going to be very interesting too. There are so many things going on with the women right now in this company that are very, very questionable. We still don't know where some people lie on these brands. Bayley, she's been injured and she has not even really been associated to a brand yet. So when she's back,
you know, if you were to ask me who I think should win the Rumble,
it has to be Bayley for me.
But against who? Who would she go after though?
Oh, I don't care. I don't care. But Bayley should win.
Like the thing is, we've seen both matches for Bayley versus Charlotte and Bayley versus Becky so many times at this point, but you're not going to have 3 women, 3 of the 4 horsewomen on SmackDown and only 1 be on Raw. They're going to do 2 and 2. I think the only way you're doing that is with Bayley and Becky. Now, yes, there's a conflict there because both of them are heel. Well, one of them's trying to be a heel, and the other one is going to be a baby because of just the pop that she's going to get. But it's going to be a very sticky situation, but that's WWE's fault for not really building things properly. Would I love Liv winning the Rumble? Yes, I would. But the thing is, they're treating her like some kind of dog crap at the bottom of your shoe right now. And yeah, sure, she gets a match at day 1, but I'm not really looking forward to that because of the booking that they've done with it. So, second, a close second would have to be Shayna, but then again, she's not even being used to her full potential either. So, the women's division is not even the women's division anymore. It's the Divas at this point again, and now, to me, it's gotten that bad. To me, it's gotten that far.
Is that bad? Damn.
Rhea Ripley lost in 30 seconds to Zelina
Vega. I heard. You know what sucks is that I would be so disappointed about that kind of stuff because I loved
Rhea. It doesn't surprise me.
But when I tell you that I don't care, I don't care. Like I care about Rhea Ripley, but the sense of her losing, it's like I wish I could care. I don't.
It doesn't surprise me. It really doesn't.
Rhea Ripley NXT was fantastic. I ain't gonna lie. I loved Rhea Ripley in NXT.
I listened.
That's because she was
a prodigy. And listen, when she lost to Charlotte Flair, that's when I stopped watching NXT.
Yeah. And that's also because she was a Triple H project.
Wait, you didn't watch when Keith Lee won the double title? You didn't see that match?
I did watch that show because during that time, that's when NXT and AEW were competing, and for content, I watched both shows. But once NXT moved, actually before NXT moved off, once Keith Lee's reign ended, I really just completely gave up.
Oh, the Wednesday Night Wars. Did you have to flip your TV back and forth?
No, I used to watch Dynamite on TV and watch NXT on my phone and live stream it that way.
That's pretty dope.
I did that for the first 3 months, and then I just stopped doing that for NXT. And I just
He's like, for me, I had to flip my TV back and forth. I was like, okay, all right, get your mind straight. You're either watching NXT or you're watching Dynamite. Make up your fucking mind.
Like, thing is, I was already AEW at that point, so I watched AEW the whole time. And then the day after, when it was on replay for my TV provider, I just watched NXT the day after. I couldn't take that. I couldn't take flipping back.
For me, I was like, you're either all elite or you're black and gold. You choose. You have to choose one.
Oh, I chose all elite.
Right now, yeah, most likely I'm most likely all elite. But at that time, I was literally black and gold because Adam Cole was NXT champion, and I was kind of like, you know, kind of enjoying the matches that Adam Cole was having as a NXT World Champion.
Yeah, NXT was great, but the thing is, like, I was just probably solely on AEW at that point. That's why I only had to watch NXT the day after, because it's not that I didn't have any interest. It's just I couldn't be watching back and forth like that. There was no way I was going to get interested in both shows if I flipped back and forth.
Question: how many New Japan fans are in here?
In the chat or like or in general?
I mean, in here in this call.
Oh, I watch it here and there. If we're talking currently, I haven't been keeping up. I haven't been keeping up lately. It's hard to keep up. I'm not staying up at 3:00 in the morning just to watch New Japan. I'm sorry.
I don't blame you. I used to do that 3 years ago when I was very invested, and that was the content I was doing. Because for about a good year, New Japan was my content, and then I transitioned into AEW.
It was really easy. I mean, it was really easy for me to watch Lucha Underground because it came out around around 9 or somewhere like that. Or they just replayed some of the wrestling stuff on the program that they had, and I was like, I like Lucha Underground. And I was like, I want to watch New Japan, but I can't. I'm asleep at that time. What do I have to do? Fly to Japan just to watch their company?
I think they're having matches that people recommended me.
Okay, yeah. So nobody watches the shows like that. Okay.
Bleach, Kenny Omega, New Japan, love it.
I think it is hella goofy that they have Wrestle Kingdom on the 4th and the 5th and the 8th. 3 nights of Wrestle Kingdom, yet there's only 3 matches announced for all 3 cards.
I know I haven't caught up.
That's
how many
hella goofy.
pay-per-views do they have? I haven't caught up. How many pay-per-views do they have?
Oh, listen, you don't got to catch up, bro. New Japan ain't worth it.
It ain't worth it nowadays?
Nope.
Wait.
What number of Wrestle Kingdom are we on right now?
16.
16.
Did you wait a minute? Is Will even back? Is Will in
Will is working the American circuit right now. He's on New Japan Strong, but he's going to be coming back in like 2 weeks.
Let's go.
He is booked though on night too.
The man hasn't lost the title. The man hasn't lost that title when he won. Because he had an injury. I want him to go back as the New Japan World Champion.
He is, and he's going to face the winner of night 1 on night 2 for the World Championship.
Yeah,
which is why he's going to be Okada, and then Okada's going to probably beat him again.
I wouldn't mind that. Oh, I never said. What did you think? Did you watch Did you watch the Buddy Murphy match with who was? Oh wait, he backed out. Was it
Buddy Matthews and Okada?
Yeah.
No, that match happened.
Oh no, I'm thinking of Low-Ki, but he backed out because he got injured. I think it was.
Low-Ki. No, that's a totally different promotion, man. You're talking about You're talking about
House of Glory?
Yeah, you're talking about the House of Glory show. I admit that match was great, and I watched it. But yeah, I mean, not everybody knows House of Glory like that.
I mean, I know House of Glory. I just didn't watch that match.
Yeah.
Was it good?
Oh.
I mean, was it good to watch?
Yeah, it was a good show, and the thing is, Eddie Kingston was in the main event.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, I would be more interested to watch House of Glory if JD from New York wasn't on commentary. His voice annoys me, but
JD is insane. I like Solid Monster though. Solid Monster's cool.
Oh, I've been listening to Sound Monsters since 2014, man. That's my go-to. That's my guy. That's my guy.
Oh my god. Yeah, New Japan. You said I really have nothing to watch.
And until they announce a card, I can't recommend you anything they're doing right now.
So nothing. They're not doing anything with Hiroshi or anything like that.
I know of. He was the U.S. champion, then he lost to Kenta, and it's a blur. New Japan this entire year has been ass cheeks. So yeah, no, you haven't been missing anything.
I watch matches that people recommend, and that's really the New Japan that I get. It's not that I don't like the people over there. Trust me, Okada, like, dude, come on,
Sonata
and all that, like, they're great people over there. And my boy coming out on me again, but yeah.
I used to be a big fan of New Japan. I mean, listen, I'm wearing my Golden Lovers shirts. Pride about my Golden Lovers shirt. Omega and Ibushi, all the way, man, all the way.
I love Kenta.
For me, it's either.
Yeah.
If I had a favorite New Japan wrestler, it's a toss up between Hiroshi and it's a toss up between Tetsu.
If you're asking me, it's Kota Ibushi.
Oh, Kota! I love Kota, but for me, it's a toss up between Hiroshi and Tetsu.
Yeah, you don't have a wrong answer there.
Mm-hmm. They're both great. They're both good. Do you have a favorite one, Phil?
And top three are Kota, Naito, and Okada for me, easily. Those are my top three. And they could be in any order at that point because those three, to me, are great. And now I just closed up a second tab and I just saw this man's face and I can't believe we haven't even talked about him yet. You're very well known for one guy. I found you through one guy. His name begins with an H and ends with a K. We call ourselves the Hookers. What got you so interested? What got you so interested in Hook?
Oh, you got into Hook.
Listen, man. We're probably the two biggest hookers in all of AEW.
No air quotes, bro. We are hookers.
What did I just hear?
I'm a proud her, bro.
He said, I'm a proud hooker.
I ain't got no shame in that.
But in all seriousness, man, what got you in the Hook? Because it's just the mysteriousness of him, right?
Yeah, listen, I did a whole video on it, which did really good on YouTube and TikTok. It's the mystery of Hook, and you know what's so added on to that is the fact that every wrestler has a social media. Every wrestler is on Twitter talking their shit, whatever. Hook has social media, he doesn't use it. So the only way you can see Hook is if you watch Dynamite. That's the only way to see Hook. And then you watch Dynamite, he don't wrestle, he don't talk. He merely just exists.
So he's like a Brock Lesnar.
Well, Brock Lesnar actually wrestles. Hook doesn't. Hook didn't for a year. Hook didn't wrestle at all for a year. He didn't talk at all for a year. He just was there. And it's like, damn, I can't wait for Nat to do something. And I hope he's good. And one day we just started memeing it like, yeah, Hook's the best. Hook's the greatest. I remember I was on the Hook meme bandwagon for like really the whole year. And then he finally had a match and the match was actually good. And it's like, you didn't disappoint. I'm happy because I'm telling you, if that match had been ass, I would have been so embarrassed. I would have been so embarrassed.
Did not watch Hook because he felt like there was just no reason why he should. Exactly. I'm like, dude, you're gonna get disappointed.
Like, what is that? I don't care about Hook.
It's Hook. Come on.
He's like, I don't care if that's Taz's son or not. Like, nah, I ain't watching Hook.
Look, I mean, come on. It's better than jeans. I mean, come on, man.
You watch your mouth. You watch your mouth when you talk about Brock to me.
But yeah, like the mystery of Hook was always something to get behind.
Locke loves Farmer Brock. He loves Farmer Brock. He loves jeans.
I did watch Hook. I was like, okay, I see what his thing is, and I saw like everyone just like losing their mind. I see what his thing is. I do like his thing. It's just, I don't know.
People are just having fun with it. That's all.
Hook is hilarious. I saw I duetted it though. on TikTok. Who Nonsense posted about watching Hook. He goes, I don't want to say it because I don't want to get banned. I don't want this podcast to get.
You already said Hooker here.
He goes. So anyway, he's watching Hook, and then he's voiceovering it. He goes, "Dude, why do you have a?"
Oh, I saw that one. That was
Yeah. You got what I was saying.
I think I commented on that.
You touched upon that there too in your video.
I think I commented on that post. Oh, what did you say?
You talked about the you kind of had like that idea where he's like a handsome guy, so it obviously targets towards the women for professional wrestling fans and
the gay community. Yes, the gay community.
Well, yes, but yeah, I know. I wanted to have you finish your point for you.
Yeah, no. I mean, I find Hook attractive. I'm not even going front. I do. So that is part of it.
As a straight man, he is a good looking dude.
No, but yeah, you touched on that point, and I think that was honestly a very good point that you had there. So,
Hook's match really impressed me actually. I thought he was good. I'm not a quote unquote hooker, guys, as you guys like to call your guys.
Okay, in due time.
In due time, he will be.
In due time.
Wait, is the train still there? Is my question. I'm not hopping on the train yet.
The train's the train's going, but the train. I mean, if you want to hop on, we can see if we can get you.
I'm already. Phil already got me on the Von Wagner train. I don't even know what the heck a Von Wagner is though.
There's some kind of running joke here about the Von Wagner character in NXT 2.0. We don't know where the fuck that name came from, and I don't think we ever will. So that's why we said, "What the fuck is a Von Wagner?"
Phil, do you still know what that is? Do you know what that is? Do you know what a Von Wagner is yet?
Isn't he the guy that team with Kyle O'Reilly?
He wasn't team with Kyle O'Reilly until he, killed him in that steel cage match last week.
Damn.
It was a steel cage match between Kyle O'Reilly and Von Wagner, and that was how Kyle O'Reilly was booted out of NXT.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, speaking of Kyle O'Reilly and Johnny Gargano, what were your thoughts when you found out that they're pretty much free agents at this point and their contracts were out and now they're gone?
Bittersweet. Johnny Gargano, if you ask me who is your favorite NXT wrestler, bar none, I would say it's Johnny Gargano.
He's on the Mount Rushmore.
He is one of the best baby faces WWE has ever had. He was able to evoke so much emotion and have tremendous matches and tell so many great stories in the ring. And seeing Johnny leave NXT was almost like seeing the last piece of hope I have for NXT. So it was very bittersweet for me seeing Johnny.
That was the last bit of Triple H NXT that really.
Well, the last bit of Triple H is Tommaso, so I wouldn't say that. But for me, it was the last remnant.
The last two. Last two.
If Ciampa leaves, that's it. That's it.
Wait,
Ciampa is there just to have the remnant left. With Kyle O'Reilly, it was also like one of those things where it's like I'm upset to see him leave because I know how much he meant to the brand, but at the same time, I don't watch WWE, so it's like that means I get to see you other places. That means I'm more likely to watch you because at the end of the day, I don't watch WWE. So when people wrestle for the company, it's like I'm happy that you're having success, but I don't like you enough to watch for you because your company that you work for is that fucking bad. So if you leave, awesome, I get to watch you wrestle again. If you don't, well, I'll watch you if it's WrestleMania or Rumble. Other than that, I guess I won't see you ever again.
The fact that Adam Cole was going to be Keith Lee's manager when they were going to shave his head and legitimately make Keith Lee have a manager in Adam Cole, that's when I knew that WWE was not going to have anything for Adam Cole, and I'm glad that he got out when he did.
Oh, yeah, and if that's what they were going to do with Adam Cole, imagine what they would do with Johnny and Kyle O'Reilly. You think that some 200-pound guys stood a chance on my roster? Absolutely not.
He also said that he'll retire first before even going to the main roster, and that's saying something.
Why did you think Triple H did not want to give Ciampa, Cole, and Gargano? Because they were they were NXT for life, and they did not want to go to the main roster.
They were the last remaining people that Triple H that weren't being messed with.
Exactly. And
From the
then
Triple H side of
crying
things.
out loud, we had a Survivor Series team. We had a Survivor Series team against them.
First of all, that NXT Survivor Series, I loved that all. But then, I mean, Walter got eliminated in like 5 seconds.
I
He
think
got
it also should be an indictment on the booking of a main roster if every
Yeah.
single person whose contract comes up leaves before they go to main roster. That should be an indictment how bad the booking is.
Yeah.
They don't even have faith that they're going to be treated right on the main roster.
And the thing is, they just messed up on what was the contract that they just messed up on and didn't even think was expiring? Wasn't that Malachi Black?
That was,
I think that was Malachi Black.
I think that was Adam Cole.
There were multiple people
There
that,
are a lot. I don't know what the fuck's going on with that
that
company.
they messed up. I know Malachi Black was one of them where it was like we didn't even know his contract was ending up, and then all of a sudden they didn't even resign him, and he was gone. But yeah, I mean, Pete Dunne's Pete Dunne was going to have a contract expire until he signed the extension. Kyle O'Reilly signed now 1 week extension so that he can finish the thing with Von Wagner, and then there was that, and then Adam Cole did the same thing for that. But yeah, there are so many things going on right now. The free agency pool in wrestling, professional wrestling, is insane. And there's so many things that can happen in the next few months. I just can't wait for it. I'm just gonna sit back, relax, watch it all unfold, and I'm just gonna be happy for it to end because I love professional wrestling. And that's the real thing that you should really get excited about, guys. Professional wrestling at the forefront. And that's an amazing thing.
Mm-hmm. Hey, Johnny Gargano, besides the one against Andrade, what did you think when they had the street? What did you think when Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa had that street fight in Chicago? When they had the street fight?
It was tremendous. I'm a firm believer that their first match in New Orleans is the second greatest match in NXT history, but I like the Chicago match as well.
The street fight when he DDT'd him, the exposed the wood and stuff like that.
That's Chicago. I'm talking about New Orleans when he beat Tommaso by making him tap out with the knee brace. That was my favorite.
Oh yeah, that one. I like Chicago.
From Final Beat.
Terrible.
That was terrible, especially when there was no audience.
And here's the thing that made it so bad. Well, let me not say terrible. I thought it was over. It was.
I didn't.
The finish.
Let me not say it was bad. It was over exemplified. They did way too much. Way too much. They overproduced the match. That's how I'm going to say. They overproduced that.
Okay, that's better. I like the match. The thing is, well, first of all, I just hated that. And Triple H said, "Listen, you two deserve the biggest stage that you guys could possibly have." And then Johnny said, "Listen, we don't need a big stage. We don't need that. Just give us a ring, a referee. Find us a goddamn warehouse. I don't care. We just got to settle this thing," which I liked in that sense. But the thing is, it should have ended. It should have ended in a bigger way.
They didn't need that fourth match. They really didn't need it. And then on top of that, you had the fourth match that went like 40 minutes long with commercial breaks. They went all over the arena. They had different camera cuts for every other scene, long pauses of heavy breathing, and it was too much. Too much. They did too much in that match.
And then you had Candice to finish.
It should have ended in a better.
Wasn't it? More NXT. NXT Ricochet. What'd you think? I thought he was fantastic in NXT. My guy, before he got called.
Loved NXT.
That man did a front flip in front of Velveteen. When I was liking Velveteen, I loved Velveteen.
Right in front.
I love the Velveteen Dream too. Before he was a kitty diddler, yeah, I did too.
Exactly. Velveteen. I was legit. Before Tommaso Ciampa was my favorite. I was actually legit with Velveteen because I saw a major star in this man until he ruined his own career. And We don't know because innocent proven guilty. Am I right? But anyway.
Nah, well, yeah, but I don't even know where that
Change topics.
Yeah, I don't even know where that case is at that point. We'll just leave it at that.
Yeah.
But anyway, I really thought that this man should have had the NXT champion when he was when he faced when they brought him back and faced Cole. But I was like, yeah, I'm still liking Cole as champion, but like you could at least build it up more to at least have him to have the title, because I actually was ready for Velveteen to have the NXT champion. So my question to you is, what did you think of Velveteen's run in NXT before everything happened?
I thought his run was great. I think they kind of missed the boat on making him NXT champion. When his peak of being white hot was like end of 2018, beginning of 2019. I feel like they missed the boat. They could have made him NXT champion at that point, and nobody would have doubted it at all. By the time they were ready to do it, it was too late. People already, he already was out for a long time. People softened up on him. Then the allegations came out, and then they kind of were. They didn't know what to do with him, and then he came back, and then fans didn't like him because of the whole. It was a messy situation, but I did like his run. It's very disappointing because he had so much potential, and all this bullshit happened. So,
I really liked his North American Championship run. I did enjoy his North American title run. I really loved his match with him and Matt Riddle at TakeOver. I loved that match. Was that's another match that people forget about, but I like that match between Riddle and Velveteen. It was really good, and I also love of course New Orleans with the 6-man ladder match when he did the rainbow. What did he call it? The purple Rainmaker. Is that what it's called?
Purple Rainmaker was double dropping. The purple Rainmaker.
The elbow drop. Yeah, and he did it off the ladder. Bro, yeah, forget it. But now screw him.
Listen, NXT during the Triple H era was insane. And now
look at it now.
And now we got 2.0, where it's Vince and Bruce behind the scenes. They're doing things. People are even saying backstage that it's just not even really fun anymore to work for that brand because Triple H and Shawn's still back there, but he doesn't have any kind of influence on that brand. And yeah, so it's a very, very sad thing what happened with NXT 2.0. I mean, listen, we went through a rebrand here. The show that we have now did not look like this. We did not have this type of logo. We did not have this type of background. We didn't really even have these kind of discussions here on the show. We were only just doing the reviews. We went through a rebrand, and I think it was better off for us. But with NXT, yeah, there might be some guys here and there that you can probably get behind, but at the end of the day, it's not the same. It's really not the same, and you can feel that as soon as you watch the shows. You can feel it.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
I already miss Black and Gold, and it sucks because I miss the Triple H era. I miss Nakamura in NXT, to be honest. I also miss Joe. I don't even know where the hell Joe is. I miss Samoa Joe. I love Samoa Joe when he first arrived in WWE. I thought Joe was great. He still is. I think he still can go, but they keep making up. I don't know if he's quote unquote injured, but I want to see Joe. I want to see Joe fight again. I miss the Samoa Mission Machine. You feel me? That's all I want. Want Joe back. That's all I want.
Well, guys, this has been a great chat. I'm gonna have to wrap things up in a couple of minutes because I need to eat, and then I'm gonna be going to sleep because I gotta work in the morning. So, Phil, thank you so much for inviting me on. It was nice meeting both of you guys. I'll be sure to check out everybody's content. I've been checking out yours, Phil, because I know you follow me. But everybody else will be checking out your content very soon, and hopefully we can all do something very soon again.
Yeah, we do these talks every Tuesday. So whenever, like, I mean, I know you're not going to be available every single Tuesday, but if you're ever down for a Tuesday chat, you know where to find.
No. If I'm available and I don't got anything else to do, and my schedule's free, yeah, I'll definitely be down to join you guys again. I mean, I don't know if that's going to be for next year because I'm doing stuff, and then you already know I'm going on vacation.
Right. Yeah.
Year, so it might not be for a minute, but I'll definitely have to let you guys know when I'm free.
Christmas.
Speaking of, have a very Merry Christmas to you and your family. If you celebrate that kind of thing.
I do. And all of you have a happy holidays and a great new year. And you guys are all on TikTok, so I'll be seeing you all on TikTok very soon.
Yes, right, man. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me. Take it easy, guys.
Yeah. Oh, that was good. That was great.
Well, I feel like we I mean, he's not an official member now, but hey, I mean, we got another person for these Tuesday talks. How was what were your thoughts on Soup?
He's great. He knows what he's talking about. I always love talking to different people. Just like he has a very different it's like most people I see from TikTok, they usually are very WWE oriented. So him being more AEW oriented, that's something that caught my attention first. But he knows what he's talking about, and he's a great content creator. I like picking his brain about certain stuff. And the question I was watching, like, I was on my way home. I had to work late tonight. He's great. I would love to have him on again. He's great.
Oh yeah.
He's great. Especially and he was really spot on. He was really spot on with a lot of points, and I like that he doesn't. I like that he's not a big Cody fan. Woo! I'm like, yeah.
I think anybody that's not a Cody fan, you're just gonna enjoy. But yeah, guys, that was our talk with Sooplex on TikTok. His link is down in the description if you guys ever want to check him out. He does make great content. I fully support him and what he does over there on TikTok. I mean, if we can get him to 16,000 followers, he's at 15.6 as of this recording. So getting him to that 16K, oh my God, that would be great. But yeah, man, it was nice talking to y'all. It was over a 3-hour podcast. Which when it comes to these Tuesday talks, that's usually how things go. When I was talking to Soup earlier today, he was like, "What's the topic?" I'm like, "There's no topic whatsoever." He's like, "There's no topic. What do you guys do?" I'm like, "We just kind of go with the flow here. We go with the flow. We talk about whatever anybody wants to talk about in the chat. We talk about just random topics in the pro wrestling world right now. What's going on in the week, anything, man." So, and he was like, "That's very freeing. And you know what? I think I'm going to enjoy that." And you know what? I hope he did. And I feel like he definitely did here too, because I mean, he brought up some great stuff to talk about. And the thing is, he was just very chill with us, and I think that's great because, like you said, Laf, at some points we can get crazy over here, and that kind of a dynamic can either sometimes push people away or really bring something out of them. And I think that really brought something out of Soup tonight.
Yeah, for sure.
So, yeah, man. Tomorrow, Wednesday, winter is coming. Gonna be a great show. We got a lot to talk about. We'll see you guys on that podcast. And if you guys have anything else to say before we just sell out before we get out of here, you guys have the floor. What would you guys like to say?
Huh? Sorry. I was looking at my phone. Sorry.
We're doing our outros right now. If you have anything else to say, now's the time to do it.
Soup, you're Soup. Yeah. How do you say his name again? Soup?
Sooplex, but
Sooplex.
people.
So I was saying it right the whole time. Sooplex was cool. Sooplex was cool. He was cool. He, like I said, love that he's not a Cody. I love that he doesn't like Cody with a passion either. Woohoo! I'd love to have him on here again. But Phil, did you sell out again? I have to say, did you sell out?
I will once Loft does his thing. Loft.
Okay.
Anything else to say?
Go follow me on TikTok. Go follow me on TikTok. You know, and do your homework. Everybody, do your homework. You know what I'm saying?
Homework. Loft, did you do your homework today? It's Tuesday.
Yo, Chad, listen to me. Come here. Listen to me.
Uh-oh. You're in trouble, guys.
So like today, right, was my last day of classes. You feel me? Until
Woo! Yeah, Loft. Woo!
Thank you. So I'm not gonna be on the dean's list this year because I got a high freaking C on one of my classes. That's tough. I got A's and everything else. They took me off dean's list. That's very tough. But it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited for the AEW show tomorrow.
Sorry.
I hope so. Honestly, I hope something happens. I mean,
something has to happen on that show.
I can't watch SmackDown on Friday because I got a whole bunch of stuff to do. Plus, Spider-Man is coming out, and I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah.
Spider-Man is so much more important than Roman Reigns right now. Spider-Man is my number one priority right now.
I'm seeing it this weekend. I'm seeing it this weekend.
Hey, wait a minute.
I wish I got the day one tickets, but they were already sold out as soon as I got to the website. So I got one for this weekend. I'm fine with that though.
Phil,
I don't care when I need to see it.
Can we review the movie? Can we review the movie? On
like I said, once everybody sees it, yeah, we can definitely make that a possibility. But if
they haven't seen it, remember put the caption on. Remember put the spoiler.
Yeah. If we do a spoiler one, yeah. But once everybody sees it, then we can really talk about it. But for right now, we got to see it first.
That's all my priorities are right now. Everything's good. I'm also happy that freaking Jeff's okay. That was my main thing I've been thinking about the past few days. So he's all right.
This may be a stupid question, and please, if this is a stupid question, please tell me. Not far from home.
No way home.
No Way Home is like pretty much directly after the Far one.
Yeah,
okay.
It's really placed after everyone finds out that Peter is Peter.
Okay, so is there any way that I can find a way to get to refresh on Far From?
Far From Home is on Hulu, I believe.
Hulu? Okay.
I'm pretty sure it's on Hulu.
I gotta refresh. I have to.
They put all three Spider-Mans, like the first ones with Toby, they put all three of them on Peacock.
Okay.
I don't know about the ones with Andrew in them. I'm not sure where they're at, but I'm pretty sure Far From Home is on Hulu.
The only one I really need to refresh my memory on, because there's so much in the Marvel universe, you can get lost in the shuffle, but like the only one I really need to refresher on is Far From, and then I'll be straight for this weekend. But yeah, like I just needed to figure out if there's a way I can watch Far From Home. So
I'm pretty sure it's on Hulu. I'm like 95% sure it's on Hulu. You might have to pay like a little bit more or something like that, but I'm 95% sure it's on Hulu.
I'll probably check it as soon as we're out of here. But yeah. That's great if it is. So I'll refresh that before this weekend, and then we're golden.
Hey, one thing though, if I see Loft crying saying Toby came back, that's
I'm not gonna say nothing to you. I'm not gonna say nothing to you. I've been trying to
not the TikTok. Me in general. If I hear you tell me that
I'm not saying a word. I'm not saying.
Oh yeah, no.
I might send y'all pictures when I get to the theater. I might do that, but after, once my show, I'm not saying a word until I know everyone saw it, because I know.
Once I see this movie, I'm not talking about it at all on my TikTok. I
don't think I'm going to either, but it's going to be on your For You page, guys. Come on.
No, I do not scroll my For You page. I promise you, I don't scroll my For You page like that.
I only use my phone. Like That's it.
This phone will be off on Friday. I see it on Friday. This phone will be off, like completely off. Like slide to the place.
So I'm not gonna be like, wow, I need to talk to you. No,
You will
I'm
see
not
me.
gonna-
Look, at the one time you be able to contact me will probably be after around 3. I gotta go to a ball game, so I'll be on my phone during that. But from the hours of like 11 to like 3, say goodbye. Live's not here right now.
Did you get day one tickets?
How about Phil?
No, I didn't get day one tickets. I got the day after because the theater I wanted to go to because they bring food to your. I wanted to go to one where they bring food to your seat.
That's
They
awesome.
don't have. It's like all sold out, and me and my boy were like waiting. We were on the app. We're just trying to get the tickets. So I got them where I could get them. I'm going by myself. I don't care. I told her, I was like, I don't care who I'm going with. I'm going by myself, and I'm gonna watch this. It's the second day. If I could see it, I told myself if I could see the movie within the first 48 hours, I'm straight. You feel me? I'm just trying to navigate my way around social media.
Can I speak? Sorry.
What's up?
I was saying, can I talk to Phil? Can I still talk to Phil though?
Dude, like I can be reached, but the thing is, like I need to see this movie.
That I would no, but
if it's an emergency, If it's an emergency, I'm gonna answer the phone.
Obviously, if it's something going on, then yes, of course, you can always contact me. But
okay. I was like, Phil, even if you're at the appointments or you working at the hospital.
Listen, Britt knows. Britt knows that this movie means everything to me. I'm probably taking her, honestly, because she's a huge Marvel fan as well. But
Sasha went without me. I'm mad.
Oh, Sasha went to premiere.
She's looking good.
She went without me. I was dead ass mad. I was like, you went to the films without me.
Sasha went to the premiere.
Tough.
But in all seriousness, guys, this movie is going to be great. If you guys aren't into Marvel, you guys really need to figure something out with your life because Marvel is great.
Hey, Locke, imagine Liv Morgan was at the red carpet, bro.
Bro,
imagine if Electra Lopez was on that red.
Oh man. Oh god. I think she's probably on the show tonight. I think I gotta watch the replay.
Chill out. No.
I might.
No.
Yeah, I don't know.
Josh, nah.
I don't really think anything of relevance happened on this show.
I know JD went live. I was like, why is he live? He was reviewing this episode because it's the first one after Gargano left. So I was like, okay. But I don't know NXT no more anymore.
Well, what were we doing? Phil's selling out.
Yeah. Well, let's get out of here. Thank you guys so much for joining us right here on Outside the Brand. This was episode 108, our talk with Sooplex. Great conversation as always. You guys can go check them out in the description below. You guys can subscribe to the channel, turn on the bell for all notifications. That way you never miss when we go live. We'll be back again tomorrow for AEW. I want to say Grand Slam, but no, it's Winter is Coming. And we will talk to you guys very soon. All the TikTok links are down in the description, so you guys can go check us out there. And without further ado, we'll see you guys in the next episode of Outside the Brand. Talk to you soon.
You're the best.